2, 1.
I think that the great and liberating things for me, and I think why this thing came to fruition, I made a big deal that this stayed quiet, and first of all, what I was doing, I was, part of the rumors are things fly out of that building. And so I wanted to see could I trust this building.
Now this by law, ready go, we go dumb. Now this by law, ready go, we go dumb. Now this by law, ready go, we go dumb. Now this by law, ready go, we go dumb. Go, get ready, go, ready, go, get ready, go, we ready, go, ready. Santana, let's go, ready, go. Now this by law, ready go, we go dumb. Sipping on a little bit of Puerto Rican rum. My beat a real low, gold-blooded to the death. Tailgate, got a little powder on my breath. Empire roll, still banging green light. Mine 49, tall cans, double shots. Middle finger up, motherfucker, Seahawks. Red zone banging, got drama, let it pop. Philly, California, Houston, Texas. This lane gang hopping out of Lexus. Niggas be frontin', not die hard. Copping up the mouthpiece, all Kaiser. Santana family, weapon in the shot. Leonardo Bello eating Giordano pie. Rain red hollering, that is my law. H-Town chillin', go, cold, cold, war, nigga. That is my law, red and go, we go dumb. That is my law, red and go, we go dumb. That is my law, red and go, we go dumb. That is my law, red and go, we go dumb. Hey, go, red, 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 go.
Now that's by law, nigga, that's what it is. I represent the city ever since I was a kid. Call me Kill Montana. My 16.
What's up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Niners Sickness with my co-host Boston Hater himself, Nick. What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing? Are you guys ready for a Friday night fun Niner chat? We're going to be talking about the Sea Chickens. We're going to be talking about the game we're going to be playing on Sunday. What's up, Christian Carver? Sorry we started a little bit late, brother, but thank you for you guys showing up right away. Charles, what's up? Welcome. Red and go. I'm just sending out some invites real quick. Red and go, baby. Red and go.
You know.
How many know that we're going to kick some Seahawks ass come on Sunday? We're going to win the West. We're going to have the number 1 seed, and we're going to get ready for a Super Bowl run. But we're going to get it all into that in a few. Real quick, just with the formalities, real quick, I just want to let you know that please like the video, hit the notification so you will be notified for the future. And share the video, man. Share the video, hit the like button, and hit the notification and subscribe. So every time we come on here with the Niner Sickness podcast show, you'll be able to be part of us as we talk about our 49ers. Not like ESPN or NFL Network where you get those analysts that hate the Niners, that talk shit about the Niners. Here, you'll get the truth from a perspective of a Niner fan. So further ado, let me introduce my boy, the Boston Hater, the one and only Nate. What's up, Nate?
Hey, what's happening, Beto?
How you doing, bro?
I'm
How
good.
you doing?
I'm good. Hey, we're playing for the 1 seed in the NFC, so I can't complain about that. If you would have told me at the beginning of this year that we would be playing the last game of the season for the number 1 seed, I would have told you were crazy.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. But this is where we're at, man. We're definitely playing for the number 1 seed, playing for the West, and it's going to be fun, man. They moved it to Sunday night. The Niners and Seahawks is going to be the last game of the season of 2019, and I love it. They flexed it to the end, so we're going to be the last ones played in 2019. Yeah. And let's go, man. Let's go. A lot of people said, if we wouldn't have lost to Atlanta, we could have just rested our starters, and
I don't like that.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
We could have been champions already. Listen, let's do this. If the Niners deserve to be in the playoffs and do something, let's go to Seattle. I don't know about you, Nate, but for me, this Sunday night, it's a playoff game, do or die, and they got
Um,
to play like that
I don't know
to
like
an
do or
extent.
die, but it's definitely it makes it an easier path. You know, the thing is, even if we win this game, there's a very high probability that our first playoff game is going to be in Seattle anyway. So this is a team that we're going to have to beat again.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. We
Yeah.
we may have to face them again in the playoffs, and
Yeah. Probably the
why
first
not?
game. I was
Yeah,
looking at the seedings. If we drop to number 1 and they go to number 5, and all it takes is the number 6 seed, which is Minnesota, to lose. And if Seattle beats Dallas or Philadelphia, we've got Seattle in the first game of the playoffs, the divisional round. So we'll
yeah,
back-to-back games against them. It's very likely.
that's right. That's right. And I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm excited. We have George Kittle. We have our Ronnie, Gold back. We have a lot of our key positions. We have Tart back. Um,
Tart
it's a
is
sad thing that
doubtful.
happened to Taylor.
Tart is doubtful.
I heard
I,
he's been practicing all week.
yeah, I heard Shanahan today say that he was doubtful.
Okay.
Yeah, so
It-
we're on the fence with Tart, but looks like everybody else except for Taylor, who had an ACL. Everybody
yeah.
else looks like they're a go except for Ford.
They activated Givens from the practice squad. Um, Nose tackle. It's
Yeah,
defensive tackle. It's we'll see what he can do. I mean, he looked impressive in the extent of practices that we call preseason. He looked pretty good in those extensive practices, but hopefully he can come in and at least be a rotational guy and give our guys a little bit of breather. It'll be good.
hey, we got a question from Christian Carver. He's asking. He said he's glad to see that I'm here, but he's asking where's Mike. Well, Mike might be here. He might come in late, but he's on vacation in Georgia, so he's he said that he was going to try to make it. Yeah, he might pop up in here at any minute, but I'm not counting on it. But yeah, he's on vacation with his family in Georgia.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely on vacation, but we're holding it down. Me and Nate
Yeah, no doubt.
and Christian. Welcome back, brother. He's one of our good followers, man. Appreciate you. This is our boy Nate. He's the third guy of our Niner Sickness podcast show, and he's very insightful, man. So be ready for a good show tonight, man. Because this guy here brings it. He's bringing his A game, and I like his philosophy. I like his thoughts. He don't
Put me on the
sugarcoat
spot,
things.
bro.
It's the truth, brother. He don't sugarcoat things. Let me tell you, I'm gonna warn all the fans listening. You may not always agree with Nate and his perspective of our game, but he keeps it 100% real, and he tells you the way it is, man. So sometimes we need to hear that in the show. We need to hear not what we want to hear, but we need to hear at times, and so we can adjust it, properly. And he'll tell you regarding players, who's playing good, who's not, who needs to get better, who is doing good, and that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to break down a little bit what the Niners got to do to go into Seattle and come out with a W. Vegas has us 3.5 point favorites.
Which
Um,
on the road is
47.
huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
47 over. So they're saying we're going to hit 47 points total. So I
A
know
lot of
they're
fun.
hurting. I know Seattle's hurting. I know Seattle's have a lot of players hurt at their left tackle and their defense. I don't know if Clowney's going to play, but I don't know how strong he is in
Um,
playing.
yeah, it's kind of like he's on the fence, but they're pushing it. I mean, they got to have it, so they're going to throw him out there. I don't know how ready he is, and I guess we'll see on Sunday. But yeah, and they're decimated at the running back position. I mean, they're going to pull guys off of their couches, you know, pulling Marshawn Lynch out of the Raiders tailgate from last week. I mean, he was out there passing out Patron shots at the tailgate last weekend.
Of the Raiders game, yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty bad situation at running back. Their top three guys are out. So
I personally myself, I'm not saying he's not going to play, but I don't know about you, Nate, but I think this is just a ploy of Pete Carroll trying to get into the Niners' heads with Marshawn Lynch, trying to divert away, because right now they're just a one-dimensional team right now. They're going to have to throw, and that's what they're going to do.
well, I don't know that I'm totally on board with that. I think that you know, running back is one of the easiest positions to just come off the street and jump in. When I think about Marshawn Lynch coming in there, he knows the system, and he could. We have to be on our A game. He's gonna come out there and he's gonna already know what he needs to do. He can carry the ball, hit the hole. I remember that. I'm trying to think of the guy that was from Denver that went to the Rams last year. CJ.
Oh, CJ Anderson.
Yeah, he plugged right in. He was sitting on his couch for months, and he actually did a really good job for the Rams. So I'm hoping that I'm listening to a bunch of Niner fans, and I'm hoping that they're not taking this Marshawn Lynch and Turban thing so for granted, like I'm hearing. I'm hoping the team's not doing that, because these guys come in there and we come in there overconfident, so to speak, and past them. I'm hoping that they're playing this just like it's anybody else, just like Rashard Penny was there, just like Carson was there, because it's not gonna be as much of a difference as people think. Marshawn can play football. He's not what he used to be, but he's not a scrub either. So I hope that we're ready. I hope that we come prepared to take care of business.
Now, to your point, you're right. Marshawn Lynch is a football player, downhill runner, a bruiser, but I expect him to come out strong in the beginning of the game because he's fresh legs. But come second series, the third series, he gets hit a couple of times. Maybe by the second quarter, this guy is not in shape. He's not. Just because you're bronzed up and you doesn't mean you're physically able to have the stamina to, they're not going to give him 20 snaps, bro. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, he'll have more than 20 snaps. But the thing is,
You think he'll have more than 20?
12 to 15 carries and you spread them out over the game, he can be very effective if we don't take care of business. We got to be in our assignments. We've got to be in those run fits, and we have to make sure that we're covering our gaps of responsibility. Or, if he's gashing us for 8 and 10 and 12 yards, that's effectiveness. I know he's not going to be a 25-30 carry guy or even 20. But if he gets us with 12 to 15 and he's effective, that's a problem.
Yeah, he's not going to do those.
We don't. That's the thing. I'm not convinced that if we're not on our game, that he won't do that.
Well, no, of course. I mean, if your defense is,
yeah.
I think Shanahan knows what's at stake.
Yeah.
I think he really, really knows. The players know this is for the number one seed. This is for playing at home. This is for winning the West, which they haven't done since 2012.
Yeah.
I think Shanahan has the Niners zeroed in.
Yeah.
And said, "Listen, we're playing for this. Do your job. Don't overthink. Don't try to do. Don't try to do too much. Just do your job."
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, what I'm looking at is, I just don't want them to take for granted the fact that it's not Carson, it's not Rashard Penny. I want them to treat this just like it is. Do your job. And if you do your job, I am with you. They will not. But if they get complacent because they're like, it's Marshawn, he's been sitting around for over a year, it's going to go bad. And you know what? That gets in people's minds. And we got a lot of young guys. So Is that a concern? Yes, to a certain degree, but it's not so much just that. It's that look at the defense overall over the last month. One of the things that I've noticed consistently is that we do not make the adjustments the way that I feel like we should. Uh, I have a
Yeah,
real problem with
you
Salah's
mean with Robert
adjustments.
Sala? Yeah.
Yeah, his adjustments. I look at Julio Jones on the last drive of a game that he's the guy they're going to. Why are you trying to run this loose coverage where there's nobody pressing him and you're just going to bracket him? Okay, well, you bracket him, but they get the ball to him before. We've got all of these people getting rid of the ball quickly on us, nullifying our pass rush, and they're not pressing these guys, making the windows tighter. If you're going to throw it quick, we're going to be right on you and make it difficult to throw. That's logic. Why they're not following that logic, I have no idea. And
Yep.
and
One thing about Robert Sala that I've noticed, he likes to stick with the script in the first half. He makes his proper adjustments in the second half, and
I agree.
you don't think I see
I
a lot
agree.
of adjustments made in the second half, never in the first half.
I see some adjustments, but the thing I don't see is, to me, why in that, like I said, I was just talking about the fourth quarter, the last drive of the Atlanta game. Julio Jones had very soft zone coverage. They bracketed him, but they bracketed him in a zone. They didn't tighten up on him. They didn't press him and put somebody over the top. They didn't try to take him away. He's the weapon that they want to go to. Michael Thomas. We didn't take away Michael Thomas in that game. We did the same thing with him. We bracketed him. They threw the ball before we could get there. These guys need to be tight on these guys. Our rush is getting there. Our rush is causing havoc. But the thing is, they're getting rid of the ball so fast that the ball's in the hands of the receiver. I I need for them to really get uptight on the receivers, so that our rush can get there. And teams aren't running the longer routes like they did early in the year. And we played some inferior teams that even if they did it, it didn't matter. Where even against the Rams, we ran into the same issue just last week. You know, they were able to move the ball on us because we were not tightening up. We were letting. I watched the same play approximately 20 times, Beto.
Mm-hmm.
They rolled Goff out endlessly. I saw them finally make some adjustments later, but they never made adjustments in their coverage. They made adjustments in their pass rush, but no adjustments in the coverage. They were still loose on him. We're gonna bracket Woods. Well, you're bracketing him, but they're getting rid of the ball quickly. Okay, that doesn't do anything. That's why we're not getting home. We're not getting home because they're giving him the opportunity to throw the ball quickly.
Yeah,
And
ever since that Cardinals game, and kind of, I hate to say, I used to use the word expose, but they kind of did expose our defense a little
yeah,
bit with quick release
yeah,
for
but
that to come against that pass rush we have.
But we have guys like Richard Sherman, who's known for his press coverage. We have guys like Emmanuel Mosley, who was one of the best covered press corners in college before he came to the NFL. Akello Witherspoon, it's not really his strong suit. But the thing is, he's a big, strong guy. Get up there and press these guys. Make the windows tighter. Put some safety help over the top. And we'll have chance for that pass rush to really be effective. Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. I mean, and that's the one thing I haven't seen. And in the few times where you do see, a play here or a play here where they really cover man, like when they made, trying to think of her, Fred Warner was man up with the running back. They manned him up with the running back, and voila, he was right there, made the interception, pick six. But they're not doing it consistently, and they're allowing teams to just move up and down the field on them. Hey, what's up, Mike?
Mike, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Good. Welcome.
I appreciate you, man. I'm in that hotel in Atlanta, man, so I was trying to get to a quiet place.
How you doing, Mike? I don't think he's hearing me, Beto.
Mike, can you hear Nate?
No, I can't.
Oh, I
Okay.
hear him just fine.
Yeah, he hears you fine. You can't hear him?
No, I can't. I can't even see him.
Oh wow.
Okay. Do me a favor. I'm gonna have you come back out and come back in and see if we can fix that. Okay. Come right
Yep,
back in.
I'll come in like one. No problem. I'm gonna try to find a quieter place. I'll come back in.
Okay.
Oh, it's not
Sorry
about
about that. That
quiet.
was
Yeah,
that was our
it was
boy Mike.
actually. Yeah, his was actually fine. I mean, there wasn't a bunch of background noise or anything. He just, for whatever reason, couldn't hear me.
No, I heard. You didn't hear the background. It was pretty bad on this. So hopefully he'll get that taken care
Oh,
of.
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounded like just a fan or something. I didn't hear much. Yeah, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about the game. I would love to see them make some adjustments and tighten up on guys like Metcalf and Lockett. Don't make it so easy for them to get their to get out there and just you know
Yeah.
run free while Wilson can get rid of the ball. Tighten up on those guys, make him hold the ball, make him run around, run for his life, and give our pass rush a chance to get home. I really like to see that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's we're definitely going to have to make some quick adjustments because whenever you have Russell Wilson out there, man, I know, like I said earlier, there's a lot of injured players on that team, but whenever you have Russell Wilson healthy, that guy can extend plays, and
Yeah.
if you don't put him on his ass, he will bite you. He'll get you, man.
Oh, he will make you pay.
Yeah,
You
so
let him
you
run
gotta
around
put.
back there 7-8 seconds without getting tackled. Yeah, you're going to see a 40+ yard play.
Now the good thing that the good thing for us, they lost their left tackle, starting tackle. So
Yeah, and
hopefully that'll allow
that's the one
Bosa.
that's actually good.
Yeah, so hopefully Bosa would take advantage of that and eat on that side and put pressure. I, I wanted you to clear something out for the listeners, Nate. Your perspective. Everybody likes sacks. We all do. We're not gonna lie. We love sacks, but explain to those that are watching this video the difference between. I mean, if we get a sack, that's great, but let them know how important pressures are on a quarterback.
Pressure
They're not
is
accounting the stats.
pressure is the end all be all, man. That's where it begins and ends. Quarterbacks under pressure, just all you do is sit back and look at numbers when it comes to a quarterback under pressure and what he does, and from a clean pocket, because that's even how they treat quarterbacks in general. Uh, we base how good you are as a quarterback based on what you do in a clean pocket. Well, if you don't have a clean pocket, usually your numbers dip like crazy because you want to get rid of the ball quick. You make an errant throw, possibly interception, um, definitely not on target as much. Guys under pressure just do not perform at the same level as a guy does from a clean pocket. So when you pressure them, you get turnovers, you get third down incompletions, and you're 3 and out. Um, it is just pressure is the most important thing from a defensive perspective to the outcome of what happens with an offense. You're going to have some outliers where a guy pressured does really well, but it's not going to be on a consistent basis. Yeah, and yeah, pressure is the single most important thing to slowing down an offense's passing game.
I agree. Let's see if you can hear Mike real quick. Mike, oops, I hit the wrong button. Sorry, Mike. Give me a second. That didn't help. Mike.
Yo, what's going on, buddy?
Well, I hear Mike.
Okay, you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear both of you guys.
Oh, okay.
Okay, perfect. And you can still hear me, right, Nate?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, real quick, we're gonna let Mike come in here, and I'm glad you got in your car because definitely there was a lot of background noise. So it's nice and quiet now, bro. So good move right there, Mike. So go say hi to Christian Carver, our one of our followers. Immediately when he didn't see you on the live, he wanted like, "Where's Mike?"
Yeah.
He didn't even say hi to us. He's like, "Where's Mike?" There he
Man.
is, Christian. Mike is here just for you, brother.
Big shout out to Christian, man. That's my boy. Appreciate you.
So, real quick, as we're getting our thoughts on the Seahawks game, and Nate was letting us know, and the viewers watching know that how important it is to have pressures on the quarterback. If we can get a sack, that's great. But as long as we can get into the quarterback's head, get into his face, rattle him, make him think, not look at his progressions properly, because you don't want a Russell Wilson to get comfortable back there. You don't want him to get into his game. You want to keep him on his heels. And I want to get your perspective, Mike, on what the Niners front have to do to disrupt him, other than sacking him. The obvious is sacking him, but who do you think need to step up from the four guys in the front and put pressure on Russell so that we can come out of there with a W?
I mean, I think it's just gonna have to be a collective group effort on that line, man. I don't think it's gonna have to be one individual, because we're gonna have to just bring it from outside, interior, on the edge, do everything we can. I know I just tuned in to the show, but I'm aware of some of the things prior to being able to get access on here. And first and foremost, man, thank you guys for tuning in, all you viewers and listeners, man. Let's keep this thing rolling, man, because we got a big thing we got going here for our Niner Empire. Um, so I apologize, man. It's a little dim in my setting. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in a hotel, so I didn't want to be too loud on the noise on my side, man. And I went by Mercedes Benz, by the way, and yelled out "Go Niners." But anyway, I think we need to get a group effort on that D line. Everybody's gonna have to pitch in. It's gonna be a huge game. It's gonna be like a playoff atmosphere come Sunday. And as to Nate's point, man, about jamming the receivers, getting guys that we have out there to apply pressure, because Russell Wilson likes to hold the ball, which plays to our favor. The biggest thing that we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to continue to contain him. Limit his lanes, and like we did last time, I thought we did a pretty good job last time. We just had a lot of turnovers, more so on the offensive side, and then we didn't execute in special teams when needed on that last second kick. But at the end of the day, man, all three phases got to be up to par, and we'll win. We're a better team than them, but can we execute better than them is a question.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to see what we're gonna do Sunday. What a way to do it, man! What a way to win the division! What a way to go in there, beat Seattle for the first time, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nate. 2010 or 2011, I believe, the last time we won in Seattle.
I can't remember if it was 11 or 13. It's one or the other.
Yeah, I
But
know. I know
it
the
was a very
quarterback.
close game. It was like a 2-point game. I'm remembering why 1917 is ringing around in my head. I have no idea, but I believe that was the score of the game. Um, I know that it was definitely during the Harbaugh era. Uh,
Yeah, it
yeah,
was
so
Alex Smith was quarterbacking that game when we won. He was the last quarterback to win up there.
it would have had to be 2011 then, because
Yeah.
2013 was Kaepernick.
No, yeah, Kaepernick never went up there. The last one was Smith.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Most of the
it was
games,
his rookie year. No. I keep saying his rookie
no,
year.
couldn't have been
His
impossible.
first year with the Hardballs. What I meant to say.
Okay, that's 2011. Yeah,
Yeah, I always say 2005. I keep every time I say that it's like
yes.
2005 pops in. I just want to give a shout out to my girl Amanda Gomez. What's up? That's my girl right there. This is my boy Nate, my boy Mike. That's my girl. Hopefully she'll come on the show with us one of these times. Bring her on here. She's a big Niner fan.
Yeah.
Sup, Manda? Sup, Manda?
So what's up, Huey? Oh, that's your your lovely
That's
better
my
half.
wife. That's my
Yeah,
wife.
that's right. I just read the first name. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. She's checking up on you, making sure you're doing the job right.
Man, she knows.
She knows. Let's go ahead and read Christian's comment. It says we need to turn our luck around against the Birds this year because we are currently 2-3 on the year against Birds teams, and all of our losses have been against Birds.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
Birds. What is about
Falcons,
the Birds, man?
Ravens. Yep.
This
And
Alfred
Seahawks.
Hitchcock movie.
Hmm.
I
We're
tell you
gonna.
what's unique about the bird teams. The Ravens, we played on the road in their house, um, in dismal weather. You know, in the tough game stretch with the Packers and Saints in that week. The Falcons, we got after playing that tough game stretch. You know, we had um, a lot of games that we prepared for and played tough. I mean, Green Bay was a blowout, but it's still Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers, man. It's still a tough
Yeah.
mental preparation. And
Hey,
then
they're 12-3
Seattle,
for a reason.
yeah. And then Seattle, we were injury riddled. You know, we didn't have Kittle, so it's almost like with the bird teams per se. Um, it's ironic that we had some different obstacles in all three of those games that we seem to not have
Mhm.
to worry about as much
Yeah.
with other teams. But yeah, it's just something kind of strange that I noticed.
Not to mention, we struggled with the one we won, which was the 2 Arizona games.
Oh yeah,
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 those were tight.
yeah.
Yeah, something about the Falcons, Ravens, and Hawks, and they're bit stronger than the little Cardinals. So we beat the little bird, but we had issues with the bigger birds. But it's funny. A lot of people don't realize how the Hawks struggled with the Hawks broke 1-1 with the Rams, 1-1 with the Cardinals, and then beating us one.
And it
The
would be
Niners
nice to
swept.
see them go 1-1 with us too.
Yeah, and the Niners swept the Rams, and we swept the Cardinals. And then if we when I shouldn't say if when we beat the Hawks, we'll go ahead and split with them. So that's not bad for our division. So
Yeah.
very good in our division, sweeping our rivals twice and then beating the Seahawks. Most importantly, beat them in the game they needed. And real quick, I just wanted to touch on somebody brought this to my attention. Something that I want Mike to elaborate on this. Uh, about the tie with the Seahawks. Somebody had said that if we would have, not you, Mike, but someone else elaborated on this. Honestly,
Hmm.
if we would have tied with the Seahawks, none of this would have been happening right now. We would have been resting the players against the Rams and against the Seahawks, definitely. And then some people say, if we would have beat the Falcons, we would have been resting this week, so forth.
That's true.
But it didn't. None of those happened. And I'm trying to remember the coach who said that. What was the name of the coach for the Eagles?
Herm Edwards.
Edwards. Yeah, in the Chief. Yeah, he goes.
You
We play
play
to
to win the game.
the game. Absolutely. So, to be honest with you guys, what I would have wanted to, what I would have been happy to win the division already. Yes. Would I've been happy to know that we had the number one seat locked up already? Yes. But what? But isn't it going to be even funner to watch the game on Sunday night, knowing that everything is on the line, and then your team comes out on top and wins it, well, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, those that really love football look for games like this. You want a game like this that everything's on the line. If you're really a true football fanatic, not just a Niner fanatic, but a football fanatic, you want games like this that are interesting, that mean something. What's
Well,
your guys' opinion on that?
I mean, let's think about it. If this game was meaningless, you already know my feeling on practice games. That's basically what this would be, even though it counts. You got everybody out there and it doesn't matter. I probably wouldn't even watch it. Yeah. If it
Yeah,
didn't matter,
yeah,
I probably wouldn't watch it.
yeah. It's just going into. I mean, the experience the Niners that the young guys that they're getting are incredible. Going into the Ravens, even though we lost, but we played a really good game. Then we went into New Orleans, which I personally believe that it's a harder stadium to play in, loud noise wise, in New Orleans than it is to play in Seattle. Seattle's up there, but I heard a lot of people tell me they've been to both stadiums themselves, not heard but been there. That New Orleans is a notch above Seattle. And not only that, but Seattle defense is better this year. I mean, excuse me, the Saints defense is better this year than Seattle. And the Niners
Yeah.
were able to score 48 points.
Well, historically, we play a lot better in New Orleans, noise or not, than we do in Seattle. So,
Correct.
I mean,
That's
even when Seattle was a bad team, we had problems with Seattle in Seattle, and that goes back to even their AFC days. So, um, I can't really put a thing on because we pretty much beat up on the Saints. We have a history with them back to when they were in our division before they left and went to the NFC South, and we handled them for the most part. We had our moments against them when we were really down, but overall we really handled them. Seattle, not so much. Even when we weren't in their division, when they were in the AFC, we had trouble with them. So
Yeah.
I
Seattle
think
has
it's
been our
different.
Achilles heels. Yeah, definitely has been Achilles heels beating them. We don't play Seattle very well, but you know what? There's always a time for change. There's always a time to create a new
Oh yeah,
turnaround, and I believe this is going to be a way of us letting the West know that we're back and we're going to be here for a while. And what a way to make that point by beating Seattle in Seattle. You
yeah,
know.
but that's true. That
So
that's a
what
big.
what
Go
what's
ahead.
your guys' concerns on this game? What do you think that they could happen that shouldn't happen, but could happen that we could end up losing the game? What is one of your? I want to get both of you guys' perspective on this. What do you think uh, shouldn't happen, but if it happens, that we can easily lose that game? I'll start with Nate, then I'll go ahead and go with Mike.
Most importantly, we need to contain Russell Wilson. We need to make sure that he does not get out there playing sandlot football and end up making explosive plays against us as a result. If we can prevent him from making big plays and getting cheap points against us, and we keep our turnovers down, because basically we handled the first part of that. We did contain Russell Wilson for the most part, and it was good enough. It was our turnovers, fumbles specifically, that did us in that last game. We gave up 21 points on turnovers. And if we limit the turnovers and the mistakes that lead to points, we're a better team than them. We will beat them.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I mean the last time we played Seattle was more self inflicted. I personally am not a fan of. I'm not one of these people that get in wrapped up into all that where we playing that stuff. Football is football, man. We line up, we play, we bust them in the mouth early. They fans quiet. It's simple as that. All that loud stuff they talk about that Seattle fan has. Everybody knows me personally, man. I'm a big soccer fan as well, and I know real loud stadiums, man. So for NFL venue, maybe Seattle feels like they're loud, but I don't know. I don't see it. I'm not playing either, but I feel like we just need to execute. Period. You know what I mean? We have a better team. We need to not turn the ball over like we did the last time we played. There was a lot of plays out there that we could have had more interceptions than we did. They didn't always catch them, and we made some plays too. Stripping them. Metcalf with the ball before he crossed was huge. I think that was Tart that did that. So we kind of came up with a couple plays on our side, but we shouldn't have to really be in a big dogfight with them. I believe we can put our foots on their throats early and keep the ball consistent. As far as making sure we move the ball, minimizing turnovers. Turnovers are going to happen. It's hard to play a perfect game, but man, we can't have those type of turnovers that we did when Clowney was bringing the pressure. He had the game of his life. Our tackles came back a little rusty after that. So, like I said earlier, there were a lot of situations and obstacles that we had to overcome with these so-called bird teams. Um, at the end of the day, we'll go out here and we'll beat everybody, man. If we play our game and we execute like we're supposed to, we proven. We went from a 4-win team last year to
4-12, yes, sir.
4-12 last year to talking about being first place in the NFC. That's a huge turnaround, man. You know what I mean? Not many of us Niner fans saw this coming. We were just hoping the wild card in the playoffs with that. So to be in a position to have control of our own destiny, and all we got to do is beat Seattle in Seattle, we're very capable of doing this, man. Arizona did it. The Rams almost did it. I mean, there's a couple teams that did it. So we'll be all right, man. I think we just need to execute. Period. Let's not turn that ball over offensively. I think our defense will play fine. Special teams, we got to make those kicks. We knew that from the last game. So we took their best shot. It took them a whole overtime and a whole extra overtime and whatnot to get that W. Now it's our turn to go and return the favor, and let's beat them in 4 quarters.
I agree. One of the key things is not turning the ball over, keeping discipline, playing your gaps, playing your spots and defense. Don't overreach, don't overthink, stay in your lane, and tackle well. Marcel Harris, I don't know about your guys' opinion, but he has. I'm starting to like him. He's not a great tackler, but he's a good downhill hitter, man. So if Marshawn Lynch wants to come back to the NFL and he wants to come down the middle, Marcel Harris will say hello firsthand, knock him on his ass, remind him that he's been not playing for 10 months. But um, I agree. I expect the Niners to not miss tackles, try not to turn the ball over. But one point that I wanted to make is the Seattle this year hasn't been that type of dominant team that has always won at home. Seattle's always been favorite at home with other teams. They've lost. They're better on the road this year than they are at home.
Right.
Now, with that said, we all know that on a prime night, the opposite. Kirk Cousins, excuse me, Kirk Cousins and Russell are the opposite when it comes to prime time. Kirk Cousins can't play for shit on prime time. He 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock at their time, he plays fine. Prime time, he lays an egg. Now Russ, on the other hand, it's something like he just wakes up on prime time and he knows when the game's on the line, you're always going to get the best of him. So I do agree with Nate on his comment earlier that one of the key things that we got to do on defense is contain. Can't stop him, but contain him enough where we slow him down and he's not as the Russell that we know. If we can do that, we'll be fine, because I really believe that even though in past history, I don't think the Niners has ever put over more than 20 points in Seattle for a while. If you look at the history, I don't think we put over 20. It's always been under 20, if I'm not mistaken. So I got a feeling this Sunday, we're going to break that. I think the Niners can at least put 30 points on that defense in Seattle. Do you think the Niners can put 30 points, in your guys' opinion?
If they don't turn over the ball like last time, yes. Because
Okay.
they were close to doing it last time. I mean, in San Francisco with the 3 turnovers. So without them, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll go on the record to say too about this Seattle playing up there. We didn't get a lot of opportunities to play them every year like we did the Saints. A lot of people would early in the show would probably have a little debate as which one's harder to play in New Orleans or in Seattle. But at the end of the day, the amount of times that we played Seattle wasn't like an every year thing. They were in a whole nother conference division or whatnot. We played New Orleans all the time before they went to the NFC South. So we had more opportunities to play in the dome. Once a year we was guaranteed to play. If we had that same opportunity and privilege in the '90s, if Seattle was if they had an NFC West aligned like they do now back then, instead of having Atlanta and New Orleans had Seattle and Arizona or whatnot, I'm pretty sure our record in Seattle would be a whole lot better, especially with our '90s San Francisco teams back then. So, for me personally, I'm not really worried about playing in Seattle, man. I just not. I don't care what our record is up there. And this, since they came over here, we hadn't had a lot of great teams in San Francisco either. We lost to a lot of teams. We just finally beat the Cardinals just now. It's been a while since we beat Arizona. We went some years with losing to them. So we just got to execute, man. That's it.
Yeah, and I just want to read a comment from Charles. He says, "What about our main man Kittle? He is back. Remember when we played Seattle the first time? We played without Kittle,
Right.
and then we lost Emmanuel Sanders
We lost him early.
early, and Debo wasn't as good as he's playing now. So we definitely come a lot far away from last game.
I won't say that about Debo. If you remember, Debo had a
That's my
100-yard
point.
100
game.
yard receiving
Yeah,
game that
yeah,
game.
he had a pretty
Oh, I
nice
see what
game.
you're saying.
Yeah,
We like I said, we against that myth about these so-called harder bird teams, whatever that is. Some people might be sparking up. we had a lot of different obstacles against those three teams, ironically, and with Seattle, we got our tackles back from being rusty as well.
yeah,
It's these are facts. So before people hear this and start overreacting, saying all those excuses, these are facts, man. We had our tackles; they were missing weeks of football, weeks, not a game or two, but weeks of football. So we came in, we started them. They were rusty. Clowney had the game of his life, but Seattle turns around a few weeks later and lose, to Arizona. They lost to the Rams. So I mean, at the end of the day, man, matchups happen. Stuff happens, man. It's the NFL. We're talking about now. So now that we got these guys back intact, let's see what happens week 17. Kittle's here. It's a different game when we have George Kittle. You take the best tight end in football, in my humble opinion, out of the game, it definitely impacts your offense. So let's see what happens.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Nate.
Yeah. I think that what we're dealing with here is it's kind of a role reversal in a lot of ways. They're the ones dealing with the more severe injuries this time around, where last time it was us. So
Mhm.
the thing is, since we are the better team, there is no reason that we should not go in there and handle our business. I also caught a question from Christian talking about the noise level at at the current stadium, the Clink, as opposed to that of the Kingdom, and he said the Kingdom was louder. He's correct, but the bottom line is what you have to do is be able to execute as an offense in that noise because you can't hear in either one of them. You can't hear. If you've ever been to either one of those stadiums, which I've been to both, uh, you can barely hear yourself. Yeah, there's no way that an offensive line and a receiver out wide and a running back behind you can hear you. There's no way. I have a hard time. I have to yell at the person next to me for them to hear me when that noise is up like that. So, uh, yeah, they have to be together on their silent counts. They have to pay attention so that they don't have pre-snap penalties. Yeah, that's going to be big. But Christian is right there. It was louder in the Kingdom.
I want to just comment on Christian's question. Since we have to contain clowning because he had a coming out party against us last time. Um, he's coming off an injury. He's not at 100% this Sunday, but I really don't care about him. I really believe this is my gut feeling that Joe Staley has a grudge right now against him because of what happened last time they played. I know people say they don't make things personal. They don't look at certain games, but I think Joe Staley wants to put an effort this Sunday against Clowney. He wants to show Clowney who the real vet is, and I really believe that Joe Staley is going to have a good game and he's going to contain Clowney personally.
Well, to piggyback on that as well, if you recall, Kyle Shanahan made this statement prior to the game. We do not have a player on our roster that can block Jadeveon Clowney. Now, with that, because he knows that you're going to see a lot of scheming on him, Kittle is going to be asked to chip him and help protect. I'm sure. I'm sure that Juszczyk is going to be involved in some of that, as well as the backs as well. It's going to be a group effort to
Yes, it is.
contain him, and I think that they can do that. We have our players that are really adept at doing that back because we did not have. I don't remember. Did we have Juszczyk in that game? I'm not certain.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
back.
he
It was his
him
first
and the
game.
tackles came back first game from weeks.
Okay. Well,
So that's what
you
I was
know,
saying.
yeah, that's a whole lot of rust coming back, having a
Yeah,
month plus off for all
exactly.
of them. And so,
Right.
you know, now they kind of have it full tilt, and they were out Kittle, which was another big component to our pass protection, especially on the exterior. The thing that I'm concerned about more so than Clowney is the darn interior. That's what I'm worried about. I think we can deal with Clowney. We can scheme on Clowney. We're gonna have to figure out something for that interior.
Well, they're missing out. They're missing one of their players, interior guys, due to
Mm-hmm.
being suspended. So
Was it Ford?
who?
Ford, the one that the interior guy, big 350-pound guy, interior guy
No,
named
no,
Ford.
he's still there.
There's somebody that was missing. That was actually a real disruptor in that last game
Yeah,
because he
I
was.
think that's the one that's missing.
Well, both of them were. Ford and another guy was really in the mix. That I'm trying to
I
remember what
know.
the guy's name
I
was.
remember one of the top guys of their defense is
Yeah,
suspended for
yeah,
enhancing
performance
drugs.
enhancing. Yeah, it is. I don't
So
remember it. The name is drawing a blank. If it's
yeah,
not
yeah, same
Ford, I
here.
don't remember.
If somebody can remember, please share that with us. Charles is asking any word on D Ford. Anybody want to answer that?
He's
Yes,
out.
D Ford's not going to play. Um, they don't anticipate he plays until the playoffs. Um, it would really be nice to get that first round bye. We
Yes.
really need him for the stretch run. It'll, it really opens things up for the rest of our defensive line, especially the first string line. Um, DeForest Buckner has been really relegated to a guy that opens up things for other guys. He's really doing a lot of Justin Smith like stuff this year, where he's creating rush lanes for other guys, and so he's not getting the numbers that people are used to. But if you watch and pay attention to him, he's having one of his best years. He's not getting sacks, but he's created a whole lot of them.
And that's with minimum snaps in the game. You're talking about Ford, right?
No, I'm talking about Defoe.
Buckner.
Oh, default.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
he's doing a lot of Justin Smith like stuff. Ford, yeah, he gets a lot of pressure for somebody who was only playing 25 to 30 snaps a game. He's getting a ton of pressures for somebody in that role.
Yeah, yeah. Hemo says Staley has to contain, and that's where Kittle. He's basically he's piggybacking what you said, Nate.
Yep.
And Jews will have to help out. So he
Yeah.
agrees with you.
Yeah, I think that's
on
spot
that.
on. That's spot on. I think we can contain that edge pressure. I'm much more concerned about that push up the middle.
I was
Hey,
wondering.
I got a question too, man. I don't know if y'all touched bases on this, man. Y'all probably have, but what's going on with Matt Breida?
I don't know. He was full bill of health last week and this week, but for whatever reason, Kyle Shanahan's response was that the way the game went didn't dictate carries for Breida. I don't know what that means.
He played on special teams
Yeah,
against
but
the Rams, but
yeah,
not in offense.
no, which is strange to me.
Yeah.
I expect to see Breida a lot this game. I would hope so. I mean, he's a huge piece
Yeah,
of our
those
running
are
game.
those are our best two guys when it comes to running the football is him and Mostert.
Yep.
So I don't, I cringe every time Tevin Coleman gets a carry.
Yeah. Sadly enough, yeah. You think Shanahan was kind of just kind of keeping Breed on the down low a little bit, just ready for this game and more the so against the Rams because he knew
I
the most
I
would
hope
handle
so.
it.
We'll see. But that wasn't a game you need to leave him out of.
Yeah.
He could have
It's,
been very useful.
Unless he's still recovering. But I mean, he was out there, and I don't know. He was out there in special teams. So if he's recovering, he wouldn't even been out there, right? So
No.
if he's out in special team, then he's good to go.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Christian says there's a few coaches that should be up for Coach of the Year, and they are Kyle Shanahan, Mike Thompson, with
Like,
all having a chance at the playoff berth with a game left. With that, he has on the roster. So he's talking basically about our coach and Mike Thompson. I think they'll make the playoffs. The Ravens are going to rest everybody. They're not going to play. They're playing RG3, so they should be able to beat them
which
easily
gives the Pittsburgh Steelers a good chance of winning that football game.
and getting into the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps.
Now, is it that even if the Pittsburgh wins, but if Tennessee beats Houston, Tennessee's in regardless, right?
Tennessee has the tiebreaker, yes.
Okay, so Tennessee has to lose and Pittsburgh has to win.
Yeah.
In
Now,
order for Pittsburgh to
the
get in.
thing
I'd
about
rather
it
have
is,
Tennessee in.
does Houston have something to play for is the question. Because they're in a position where they can't get the 2 seed. Um,
No. They're in the third seed. They're in the fourth seed. They can move up to the third if which team's going to play? One team's going to play before they play.
Kansas
And
City.
they, yeah,
Kansas
the
City's the
Kansas City.
third seed.
Kansas City has to lose, which I don't
Yeah.
see that happening
Yeah.
against the
But
Chargers.
but
But if Kansas City lose, if they win, they can move to the third spot.
yeah, but Kansas City also is still in play for the 2nd seed. So
So if it's
if
a second seed, then there's
if
another
New
team up
England
there.
lost and Kansas City won, they would be the 2 seed. Kansas City has a tiebreaker on New England because they beat them head to head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I
Kansas
think
City has something to play for. Houston, not really. I mean, 3rd or 4th seed, how much does it matter to you? Would they rather rest their guys or not? That's going to be the question. I haven't really heard too much about what they're going to do, but what Houston does has a lot to do with how Tennessee is going to be able, whether they win or lose. Them sitting their guys would make it easier, and Baltimore definitely has already said they're sitting theirs.
on that note, I want to get you guys' perspective on that. What's your guys' thought on that? On the resting player? I know you want to keep your players healthy. You don't want them to get hurt. But if you think about the Ravens, they're gonna play like in the third week because they're gonna get this week off. They're gonna get the bye off. By the time they play, it'll be the third week. What do you guys think about that?
I don't like it. It's a long time. I
Very
you
long.
know I get it more so from like a team like Houston, where if they didn't care about the 3 or 4, basically they get 1 week rest. I like that, and that's what the bye week is all about. I don't really like having too long off. You see a lot of rust come from that. There was a year that I'm trying to think of. It was Indianapolis Colts. Were 14-0. Didn't care about the undefeated season and sat their guys 2 weeks in a row and had the bye. So basically, by the time they got on the field, they hadn't played in 4 weeks. They looked rusty against Pittsburgh. They ended up losing the game. So I
Yeah,
don't like
yeah.
it. I've never liked it.
What about you, Mike?
I mean, to me, it's for an NFL season, considering that there's only one bye week during the season, to be out 2 weeks plus, you might as well call that a bowl game, like college. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it like this: if you're looking at it from a perspective of health, I mean,
Uh-huh.
sure, if it feels great to be out and rest your guys, but if you're looking at it from a perspective of what your body has been routinely accustomed to playing the whole 17 weeks, and then you tell me you go 3 weeks, almost a month without playing, just so you can rest up and be healthy. Nate pointed out the Colts, and I'm sure there's more examples of that. I wonder what the
I have
percentages.
several.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering what the percentages and statistics is of teams that approach the playoffs like that with 2 weeks plus of rest, and how many of them have won Super Bowls doing that versus teams that are playing no more than a week rest and have won.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys. Go ahead and take over.
Yeah. I also like to piggyback on when you say it's like a bowl game. Yeah, the only problem with that is you're the one playing it like a bowl game. The other team, is playing week to week, and they're, in midseason form. They're
Yep.
they're ready to go, and you get up against them, and you struggle in the first couple of quarters, and heck, if you struggle mightily enough, the game's over.
Right. And like you were saying, I mean, I agree. And I brought up bowl game because we know in college, two teams have the same amount of time off
Yeah.
versus in the NFL, one team's playing, they might be a wild card or whatnot, or if they rest their, like Baltimore is doing their rest. I'm sorry, not Baltimore. A second seed might rest a week or something, but they might have to go out there and play. But if you're out there doing it, one team is doing it 2 weeks plus, and then another team's playing week to week, or at the most to get 1 week of rest. They're in a more routine. They're in a rhythm, and to come back
Mhm.
off a longer bye week, an extended bye week of a bye week, it can put you in that rut. We've seen that happen with players who are hurt. They haven't played in a few weeks. They come back rusty. Perfect example with our players. Even though they were hurt, they still came back rusty, being time off. So imagine if you're healthy and you're not even active, like playing in the game at all either. Time off, man. It's not advantageous benefit in my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I'm not with that. I like games to matter. I like teams to always have to get up for games and be intense. I don't want it to be like, well, whether we win or lose this game, doesn't matter. It's kind of rolls back to I listened to Richard Sherman prior to the Atlanta game, and he said, "Well, I could play if we had to have this game." When a leader like that says something like that, it creates a mindset throughout the team. And to me, he really, by saying that, I was really worried about that game when he said that. I'm like, does everybody feel that way? You know, and I saw a lot of lackluster play in that game. You know, that intensity wasn't there, and we ended up losing that game, even though it was close. So
Yeah, I think with our young team, the one thing that is unfortunate is once we got off to a hotter start than we probably anticipated, and most of this team hasn't even been accustomed to winning in the NFL. So once they got a lot of these W's, you know, you probably gonna be feeling good about yourself, and you can kind of get a little relaxed based on your success. And we got to stay hungry. We got to remember how we are right now. It's not the perception we had when we started, and even when we won our first 7, 8 games. It was said, okay, the first half of your season was weak. The second half of your season is harder. This will be a real test. Blah blah blah. Garoppolo can't execute on third downs. He don't have it in him. But then he goes out there and converts 2 third and longs against the Rams. Every time there's always room for motivation. And I think that with the team maturing, they'll get to that point. But you're right. It's easy to get comfortable when things are going well. So when things are going well, you just have to have that mentality, something to motivate you. You have to realize at the end of the day, a Super Bowl is not won after 17 weeks. It's just a route to get there. The season starts in playoffs once you qualify. Now the new season begins. You have to motivate yourself and stay motivated and keep consistently motivated, like a shark, man. Go out there like, hey, whoever we play, it's on, because there's always something to prove, man. It don't matter how many times you win. There's always going to be criticisms. There's always going to be doubters. There's always going to be skeptics. We have to go out there and think like, you know what? We've been doubted on for so long. We went from 4-12 to possibly in the first seed in the NFC. So let's not get comfortable. We remember when these doubters told us that we wouldn't even have a shot at making the playoffs. We remember when these skeptics criticize our team. So if I'm on the 49ers, man, even as a fan, I'm still hyped and motivated. I'm more motivated now. Let's
Okay.
go all the way.
Okay. I don't care about skeptics, but there was something that I saw in the comments about Christian said about I don't think that New England, and I want to pile on this was uh when they were 18-0 that they didn't take any they didn't
Didn't
rest.
rest our players.
Yeah, sure they rested. They rested in the Super Bowl when they made 18-1, Christian. Not 18-0, 18-1. They rested in the Super Bowl when they lost.
When they laid an egg against the Giants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Against the 9-7 Giants team.
Yeah, that was crazy. Talk about losing to an underdog. Big time.
To be clear, you guys already know, and anybody who watched me on the show know I don't watch skeptics. I don't watch ESPN. I am talking in the mindset of those who probably majority of the fans who do, because a lot of people do watch these skeptics. I don't. I hear them from my friends and associates, but I'm not going to tune in to ESPN. I already, I gave my reasons plenty of times why I don't watch that show, but for people out there in general, man, not even just on these shows, just a casual fan, you know, people who play fantasy football and whoever, anybody, man, there's a lot of people who just didn't believe in this team, and a lot of these people that are non-Niner fans, fans that don't watch our team, had no clue that we competed in damn near every game last year with our backups. So you've seen the potential there. You've seen that once we get our starting quarterback back, that we'll be a better team. Right? We knew this day would come. We just had to keep building towards it, and it's here. So now we just got to keep it going, man, and let's win Week 17 and start this right.
Yeah, a lot of things that I noticed about the commentators, kind of like a Stephen A. or what's his name, Bailey, Skip Bailey, whatever his name is. They're always throwing his jersey into the garbage for his Cowboys. They only give their perspective based on the week they just played. Their commentaries based on how the Niners played that particular week, not how they've been playing all season, not how everything they've done to get from point A to point B. And this is why we bring this context, we bring these shows to you, because here you're going to get the perspective of a Niner fan, not necessarily just analysis from someone that just watches the highlights prior to going to the show and just makes his points on that. But that's what Stephen A. does all the time. He don't do his homework. He doesn't watch games. He doesn't break down coverages and break down plays. He just comments on what he sees prior to going on to his show. So that's another reason why I don't watch that either as much. You know what I mean? Here's when you're going to get your content. Here's what you're going to get the raw meat of our team, and you're going to get the perspective of our team, where we're at, where we should be, where we're heading, where our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, from someone that watches tape, someone that watches the game, someone that can give a true analysis of your 49ers, because we watch the game as you do, not necessarily I had to mute Mike for a second, and not necessarily just for what they see on video. You know what I mean? So this is what I like about Nate and Mike. They bring a very good perspective to our team, and not all of us see eye to eye on certain things. We all have our different thoughts on certain, but which is great though, because we all have our opinion. I'm not a big guy on a fullback. Neither is Nate. I know. That's what I want to see your reaction. I want to make sure you're still listening. Yeah. And then Mike loves field goal kickers, right, Mike? He's his favorite player on the team is a kicker.
Hey,
I think that's coming from his soccer background.
He plays to tie the game.
Yeah, getting my phone is at 2%, man. So if it cuts off, I'm gonna definitely get my charger and try to log back on. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, like anybody that knows me, we've had our conversations off record, man. So to fill people in, I've had a perspective about it coming from a strategic perspective, because as y'all know, I'm a big soccer fan. You know what I mean? And tie is popular in soccer. I get that this is NFL. You play to win the game, as Herm eloquently quoted, as Nate eloquently reiterates. But at the end of the day, statistically speaking, understanding from a soccer perspective how tying gets you a point or whatnot, and at the end, that's the result is what matters, is to win and put yourself in the best position to win. So here's how I feel about it. Honestly, we had a lot of games this year where we shouldn't even been in this situation. Like we had the Steelers game, we could have lost that game. We had 5 self-inflicted turnovers, and then at the end of the day, um, we were fortunate to win that. So the Seattle game, that was a game we could have won. We missed a kick. They go down and score in overtime. They win. So what? So Atlanta game was a game we should have won. We lost. So we had some games we should have won that we lost. Some games we lost that we should have won. We are what we are now. So now we just got to finish strong, man. Because whether we tied, whether we did this, whether we did that, whether we rest, who knows, man? At the end of the day, we're here where we are now. So I'm just focusing on week 17 at this point, man. Because what could have, should have, none of that happened. So we just got to win, damn it. I'm tired of it, man. Let's go in here. Let's get off this Seattle, they're in Seattle crap, man. I don't know, man. I've never been to what they call it, the clink, whatever they want to call it. I've never been to that place. I'm down south in Florida, but as a soccer fan, man, their stadium to me, I laugh at it, man. We got European leagues, man. I'm gonna keep it football, but European noise is way louder than that over there, man. And I'm just saying we got to go execute at the end of the day, man. San Francisco can do it. We're a better team, and we got a better roster. We have guys across the board. We just got to execute on all 3 phases of the game, man. We got Robbie Gould, big difference this time. No disrespect to our other kicker, but it's good to have Gould back. Hopefully he continues to execute, man. When he has to step up when it's necessary.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I'm excited, guys. I really am. I'm excited for this game. Can't wait for Sunday night game. It's going to be prime time. Everybody's going to be watching. Like I said earlier, before you came on, Mike, I love it that they flexed this to the last game of the 2019 season. The 2019 season is going to end with the San Francisco 49ers at the Seahawks for the number 1 seed and the West. And um, I was gonna ask, who do you think has more to play for this Sunday, the Niners or the Seahawks? I mean, everybody wants a home team bye, but the Niners are going for the number 1 seed. Uh, if the Seahawks win and win the West, they are still playing in the wild card regardless.
Not necessarily.
Well, I mean, Packers not going to lose. No, neither are the Saints, and if they don't lose,
Assuming
then
that they are number 3, yes.
yeah. I mean, anything can. I shouldn't say won't lose. Anything can happen in any given Sunday. Look at us
I
with the
want to
Falcons.
answer that quick, man. The Niners got more to play for, damn it. Not only because I'm a Niner fan, but because we have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl and getting there than they do. Period. We got more to play for. So, and we're gonna beat New England in the Super Bowl, right, Nate? If they get there.
They got to get there first. But
Yeah.
if
We
I'm
might
being
have to see
honest,
Baltimore.
we both have a lot to play for. I'm not going to be so quick to say, yeah, we have more to play for. I mean, is our upside winning the game? Give us a little more. Yeah, we get a first round bye. They might only be playing for a home playoff game. So, but
That is
it's a home
correct.
playoff game against Minnesota, which is a team that they already beat and probably could beat again. So there is something to play for there. Where if they lose, oh wow, I just thought about that. Maybe losing's better.
Yes, I was going to
You
say
get a,
because
you get a fifth seed, you get Dallas or Philadelphia.
yeah, and they play
Now that I
better
think about it, maybe they
on the
do want to
road.
lose.
They play better on the road than they do at home this year. So
Well, plus Minnesota's better than those two teams. So it might be better to go on the road, actually.
yeah, exactly. So it's the NFC is definitely interesting, but nevertheless, what happens to the Seahawks, we as Niner fans, we're focused on our team. We're focused on what we got to do. I think the Niners are hungry. I think the Niners are going to be focused on what they got to do to win this game. If they just got to play smart, they can't try to. The only thing that scares me is that if they try to do too much to try to win it too badly, where they can screw something up. Because all it takes is one bad read from Fred Warner or from any of our players that can kill us. So I'm expecting they stay disciplined. I expect that they stay focused, and I think Kyle Shanahan, has something set up for the Seahawks this Sunday, as what he did with Atlanta. One thing we know for certain with the Seahawks, they run the same plays no matter what. They don't scheme new stuff. I mean, everything they do, we've seen it. What's new that the Seahawks done that we haven't seen already?
Yeah, the Seahawks do, especially in their run game. They do a lot of different things. In their pass game, I see about 5 or 6 different plays. But the thing is, they run them out of different formations, and they do disguise their stuff pretty well.
Okay, but okay, they brought in Marshawn Lynch and they brought in Robert Turbin. If I'm saying his last name correctly.
Mhm.
But they're, I heard what you said earlier in the beginning of the show that we can't take it for granted. And I agree. We can't overlook Marshawn. We can't. But Marshawn is nowhere near right now what what's the name that went down was playing.
Carson,
Carson. Carson was playing great football this year.
here's the problem. If you let a guy go off for 15 carries and 70 yards or 75 yards, well, does it matter if he's Chris Carson? I talk about this all the time, where people are always fixated on names and what they do and fairy tale fantasy numbers. The bottom line is you need a guy that can do the job and do it well. And if he goes out there and does his job well, that is a problem for us. We need to make sure that doesn't happen.
Now, what happens if he goes and gets a hammy pull or something pulled because he hasn't played in
Even
10
better.
months?
That works.
Yeah,
But
and that's not saying that it can't happen because the dude hasn't played. I mean,
yeah,
one thing about Marshawn Lynch that a lot of
but
people know because he makes it obvious, he's not one guy that goes running like Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice can come back and play. He's fit. I think he can play and keep up with some of our receivers because the guy works out every day. I see this guy on Twitter every day working out.
mhm.
Marshawn Lynch does not work out every day. He doesn't build his stamina every day. He drinks
and
alcohol parties. Come on,
and
how much stamina can
and
he have?
neither did C.J. Anderson. C.J. Anderson came in fat, and it still worked.
But he
That,
wasn't drinking. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
he
I hear you.
was.
He was, but he wasn't effective in the Super Bowl.
Okay, well, we don't have time to wait for him to not be effective in the Super Bowl. We need him to not be effective in Game 17.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you know right now. Mark my words. Mr. Lynch will not be an issue whatsoever this Sunday. Guaranteed. You guys
Okay,
heard me say this.
okay.
Guaranteed.
Well,
He,
like I
if
said,
he has
if
over 50 yards, I'll be shocked.
if we handle our business, he won't.
Yeah,
If
and I think
if
that's what
we
we're going
let
to do.
him get in there and you know pop this run for 12 yards, hit this one for 8, if we're not playing sound assignment football, he's going to do his damage.
He's going to pull a hammy after the second play of the scrimmage.
Yeah,
Watch.
I mean, you can sit back and wait for injuries, but there's a whole lot of guys that come out and run the ball 15 times that are truly out of shape.
You know what the coaching staff's going to do on the Niners side every time Marshall Lynch is on the field? They're going to have a bottle of Patron and they're going to be waving it at him, and that's going to distract them.
Yeah,
Um,
that's all fun and games, but we
no, I
all
hear
know.
no, I hear you. I hear you. I mean, any player that
Yeah.
you overlook can hurt you. If you miss your assignments, if you don't block properly, if you catch Marshawn at a bad angle, he will burn you for 3 or 4 yards.
Well, he's
He
gonna
can
he's
definitely
gonna
do the
run
chain.
you over. He's not easy to bring down. He's a big, strong dude. Yeah.
So who do you think needs to be on him at all times?
I don't think anyone needs to be on him. I think that what we need to do is play a, assignment, sound
Football.
assignment ball. We need to be in our gaps, in our run gaps, and definitely have our run fits down, and we'll be fine. But we got to do
So,
that.
what's the mentality of the Niners going into this game? Should they try to shut down the run game, or should they just say, you know what, Marshawn Lynch, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us, but we're going to shut down Russell Wilson in the passing game?
Well, Russell Wilson is always the most important piece to the Seattle Seahawks. If you get rid of him, you win. You know, but you also got a flip side. You got to take care of the turnovers because we took care of him last time we
Yeah,
played. We took care of Russell Wilson. That might have been his worst game all year.
yeah. Well, yes, the one against the Cardinals wasn't too shabby either.
It was comparable, but he actually, when you look at it and you break it down, he was actually better against the Cardinals.
Look,
You
I
know,
really haven't seen that game, but
yeah,
you're right. It was a turnover. It was the costly mistakes. It was
yeah,
with Garoppolo. Garoppolo has to make sure he reads his reads better. He needs to make sure that he
yeah,
doesn't,
yeah. Well, it was fumbles. It was primarily fumbles.
but he did throw an INT as well. One or
Yeah,
two, I think.
it was one.
One, yeah.
Yeah, two
And
fumbles.
he
One
didn't
led
expect
to
the
an
linebacker
immediate
to.
touchdown, and the other one led to a quick touchdown. And his interception, oh man, I can't remember the guy's name that picked that ball. He's got a
Running
brother
that,
in the league. He's got a
the one
brother.
that picked it up and running into for a touchdown.
Oh, he didn't run it. Clowney picked up the
Oh
ball.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he
Yeah,
Clowney's the one that did it.
yeah. But
So
no, the interception.
let me ask. Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's got a brother in the league too.
Yeah, yeah, his brother has like half a hand
Yeah.
missing.
Mhm.
Griffin, I think,
Yeah.
or
Yeah. That's
yeah.
who had the interception.
But I wanted to ask you real quick as we wind down. What's that deal with Garoppolo holding the ball for too long or not throwing the ball away? So many times he takes those sacks or takes or risk of fumbling that ball because he doesn't throw the ball away. I want to get your perspective on that.
Well, I think that just comes with experience. But as far as him holding the ball, I can tell you, especially when you're looking at all those sacks the Rams had, those guys were covered. And he was clutching. You saw him getting ready to throw the ball, and he was, he'd double clutch here. He'd look at his next read. He'd double clutch again. Next thing you know, somebody's riding him down to the ground. So he's got to really have just a little bit more pocket presence to where he's like, okay, I got to get out of here, or I got to get rid of the ball. Something's got to happen, but I can't just sit here and wait for the defense to show up, because he wasn't getting sacked quickly except for on a couple of plays. There was one where Aaron Donald got to him real quick, and I don't hold that one against him. But there were probably about 3 or 4 of those sacks that he held the ball a very long time. And I think that just comes with experience. He's got what 25 games as a starter right now, so he's about getting close to about a season and a half right now. Um,
Yeah,
that'll
yeah,
come with time.
yeah. I hope he does because that kills us, man. It really does. We're holding on to the ball. I'm like, let it go, throw it away. You're right.
Yeah.
When your receivers are covered, it makes it difficult. But if your receiver just, live to play another down, throw the ball away.
Mhm.
If your receivers are covered, because you got to have that clock in your head.
Yeah,
They're coming.
but you also got to look at him and the kind of quarterback that he is. Now, how many times that he holds that ball too long does he turn around and make a play? Like, for instance, that 46-yard pass, he held that ball too long. If you look
Uh,
at how long he had that ball, he waited till he saw a guy coming right at his face, and then he threw the ball, and he actually got hit as he was throwing the ball. But he waited to the very last possible moment to throw that ball. Should have got rid of it long before he did. But
yeah, that was a beautiful.
look at how it
Beautiful
worked.
play.
So
You,
sometimes
you,
you got to take the good with the bad, and he's going to have some degree of that. We just don't want as much of it,
correct. And
and that'll come with
it's
experience.
funny how you say that play. against the Rams when they converted that 3rd and 16 with 46 yards.
Mhm.
It's funny how Jamie Ramsey blamed the young kid, the safety, for
Because
making
it was his fault.
it was Ramsey got burned
No,
though.
no, it was not. Jalen Ramsey was playing an underneath coverage, and that was two safeties over the top. If you got safety help over the top, when you saw Jalen Ramsey go, he played a trail technique on that guy. He stopped when he was supposed to stop, and when he turned around and looked up and saw there was nobody there, he started running like, "Oh God, we have a busted coverage." It was not his fault.
So you put it on the young kid,
I
the
do too.
safety.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, okay. Now, with that given, do you think he should have called him out the way he did?
Of course not. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You catch him after the game and you take him aside, or you catch him on the sideline and you talk to him about it. But you know, you don't call your teammates out like that.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
put him on the you don't put him underneath the bus.
No.
Mike's back with us. Did you get your phone charged, brother?
Yeah, I got it on the charger now, man. So trying to get it out here, man. I
Can you
heard
hear
the
him, Nate?
I
Huh?
heard the tell
Yeah, here.
I heard the tail end part about Garoppolo. Sound like he was talking about him holding on to the ball.
Yes.
I was gonna ask too, man. Like, do you guys think that he had a play against the Rams? I think where he ran and got some extra yardage. Do you think that Garoppolo can run a little more? I mean, he has the ability to utilize his legs. He's capable of running. We've seen that before. Do you think that this injury that he had against the Chiefs last year, kind of mentally, is something that he's not? His knee has to physically recover, and he has to mentally believe it in his knee, or what do you guys think of that? Because sometimes, as personally, especially being a fan of a mobile quarterback, I just want to see Garoppolo utilize his legs instead of holding it, or at least throw it away.
Yeah, I think I already addressed that. It doesn't really necessarily have to do with him running per se, or it's either that or get rid of the ball. But you know, it's something that I think has to do with some inexperience, and I
Yeah,
believe that he will improve in that area. But because of the kind of quarterback he is, that'll sit back there and wait around and try to make a play, that you're gonna deal with some level of that based on the kind of quarterback you have. It's a risk reward kind of a thing where
Yes.
the one thing we were talking about was that 46-yard pass on 3rd and 16 where he held the ball entirely too long, but look at how what the result was. So he's
yeah,
going to do it. He's going to do it, but he
yeah,
doesn't need to do it as much as he does.
Yeah,
There,
he's a pure pocket passer, man. He's looking to pass, and he can run, and he has run in a few games. He
yeah,
has run for first downs, but he's looking for that. He's looking for that play. He's looking to get that ball into the receiver's hands. He's not a run first quarterback. He's a pocket passer. He's always thinking about passing first, and he's looking through his progressions and he's making his reads. But Nate is right, and I agree. It's all about gaining more experience playing. He has a lot of
absolutely.
experience watching um, Tom Brady, but watching is one thing. That's one way to learning, but it's even more to learning being on the field, going through those hardships yourself, and learning that way. And he's getting better, but you can tell from week one to now his progression has grown so much, and that's
yeah,
something you want to have as a meter that he's heading in the right direction. He's not
yeah, he is
regressing.
a. Go ahead, Beto.
He's not regressing. He's building. He's learning every week. Every week's getting better. Now he does have those moments, those aha moments where like, damn, what was he looking at? You know what I mean? But that's part of inexperience too. He's going to have to learn how to make those reads and read those defense better. But I think that's within time. I think next year, um, he won't be the mistakes that he made this year, because this will be after this Sunday. It'll be his first complete season under his belt. I think he'll come next season with the offseason and the playoffs experience this year, a much different quarterback. I don't think he'll regress and I'm not trying to be a dick towards the Rams, but I don't think he'll regress like Goff did to some
I
point. I think he'll
I
be better.
I disagree with the whole Jared Goff regression thing as well.
You don't think he regressed?
I don't. I think his team regressed. And I think he regressed as a result of what his team did. There was a whole lot of mess on that offensive line That offensive
That's
line that was one of the best in the game was a joke this year.
yeah, it was terrible.
And I think that had a lot to do with it. They came up with a nice little scheme against us, and it took us a long time to adjust. So therefore, it worked pretty well. But that offensive line was getting him killed, and Todd Gurley has the least distance per carry before contact in the NFL as a starting running back. There's nowhere to run. You can't run the ball.
True, true.
So
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
As,
run.
You
as,
make a good point. That offensive line was atrocious this year compared to last year.
Yeah. So I don't think that it was just totally golf. I think they're giving golf a lot of it. You know how it is starting quarterback. If things go right, you get more credit than you deserve. If things go
Yeah,
wrong, you get more
you get more
blame than you
points.
deserve.
A lot of it's coaching too. A lot of the coaching. Uh, I saw a little bit of the coaching. I don't think McVay is that good of a coach that a lot of people thought he
He's
was.
not bad. I I
Not better
wouldn't
than
take him over
Shanahan.
who we have. Yeah,
Yeah, there
I
you
wouldn't
go.
take him over who we have, but there's a whole lot of NFL coaches I would take him over. Let's put it this way. You got 32 teams. I probably take him over. Yeah. He's probably just outside of the top 10. Everybody behind that, I'll take him over.
Yeah, okay. Anything else you want to add there, Mike?
I was gonna say, like, I think sometimes when we talk about quarterbacks in the league in general regressing, we got to look at the totality of what the circumstances are. Like some people probably feel like Matt Ryan has regressed as opposed to Jared Goff.
No.
You know, but at the same time, I don't study the Falcons like I watch my Niners, but I'm aware that they got a lot of injuries that they deal with as well. And the same thing for our team with the Niners, man. Like if Garoppolo's playing and what we perceive as inexperience on this show, others might perceive as regressing if he had a game where he wasn't clicking on cylinders like the game he played against New Orleans. If he's having that type of game versus a game like he had against the Steelers, people could be quick to say the same thing. He's regressed, but I think sometimes people just look at games from a fan perspective and not really watch what's going on around the team and the way that we played, the type of competition we played. It's for me, it's kind of hard to really go in on a lot of quarterbacks and say they regress. I would just say they have circumstances that contributes to their performance, man. And if we want to call that regression, that I guess that's a term that's used by each individual. Regression to me means you're a great quarterback, but you just took a step back, and you're the reason why your team is struggling. Versus when a team is struggling and a quarterback is also struggling because of that, um, it's kind of I don't know. I think it depends on what do we define as regression. That's the question right there. Because
Yeah,
in golf situation, his team regressed, and he's just a part of that regression. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um,
I think Matty Ice had a better year this year than last year.
Yes. Yes.
right, but some people are going to say, they feel like he regressed based on his expectations. He had a top notch receiver in Julio. We had Freeman available. Some people might feel that way about him, but again, that depends on what we identify as regression. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In my book, regression means somebody that had a hell of a year, and they put it like this. Let's use our team. The 49ers are having a hell of a season, right? If Garoppolo comes back next year, we are expecting him to not regress. We're expecting this team to keep doing what they're doing and just continue to grow and improve. If he comes back next year and has a season that we didn't expect, and our team is still playing well, but he's not doing his part as a quarterback, I would consider that regression for me. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But
Yeah.
if we have business decisions that affect our team that contribute to him, maximize his potential, I wouldn't be so quick to say that a quarterback regress. I would just say he has obstacles he has to deal with that limits his ability to reach his peak. So we
mm,
have to take them where they're based upon, with what business decisions of the teams are, and that's why I think it's harder for me to say that golf regressed because his team made some business decisions that I don't know if it maximized his potential. And same thing with the Falcons and other teams, but uh, we'll see, man. You know,
Put it
we're
this
not
way.
those teams. We're in the playoffs, so I'm just glad. I'm glad I'm a Niners fan. Glad we're doing our thing. But for a fan of the sport in general, it's if for a quarterback to regress, it's going to take. For me, it's going to take a lot more than just a losing record or barely winning or didn't meet the expectations as what people see. And I got to see what they're doing as a team.
Yeah. To piggyback on that, uh, Goff is like two offensive linemen, maybe three, away from being the same guy he was last year. Um, that's the way I see it. And when you look at a guy like Matty Ice, Matty Ice, when you look at his numbers, and I'm not a numbers guy, he actually looked better. But in reality, the team is not better. So, they have the ability because they have a few elite players that Julio, Mike ran through them. They have the ability to step up on you, and they have a lot of athletes. They might not have a good defense, but they have a lot of athletes on their defense, and sometimes that can neutralize uh, uh, a good offense, especially on one of their better days. So it's not a consistent team, and that's the problem with them. They're not consistent, and that usually falls back on the coaches more so than play. Yeah, you play the game, but why are you always playing? You'll play a great game and then you'll play terrible. Yeah, that's usually goes back to coaching, unless you're just clearly, without question, the superior team, which in most cases they're not. The Rams, sometimes they get into games where they are the superior team, and it doesn't matter what the other team does. They're going to beat them, and they're going to beat them up. So
I agree.
yeah,
I agree. Well, guys, it's been a fun show. You guys, like always, been amazing, informative. Everybody here had great questions. Um, what do you want to leave the viewers with? What's the last thing you guys want to share with them regarding this game on Sunday? Before we call it a night, because this has been fun, definitely. Unless you guys want to stay in there longer, we can do it.
yeah. I'm in no hurry.
Okay. How about you, Mike?
I'm in ATL representing this San Francisco 49ers, man. So whatever y'all want to do. What do the
Uh,
fans want, man? Are the fans awake? They still with us? They rocking with
oh,
us?
oh yeah, they're rocking with us. Definitely rocking with us.
Do the fans want some more, man? The fans want some more?
We can definitely keep it going, brother. Look at Christian. Christian's been faithful answering his question. Him and
Ooh,
it, to the segue of the Falcons. Dan Quinn is returning next year. Yeah, him
that's
and
what I was reading. You know
the
what?
general manager.
Unfortunately for them, I think that he needs to go.
Yeah, both of, yeah, and the general manager. Whatever his name.
I don't know. I don't. Maybe the GM. A lot of times when you get rid of a coach, the GM is kind of tied to the coach, and one success pretty much dictates the others. So yeah, maybe. I don't know about the GM. There's some talent on that team. It's kind of like they shouldn't be losing. It's almost the equivalent of they're not as talented as the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are the just I scratch my head every time I watch that team. You know, everything, when you look at numbers with the Cowboys, everything says they should be a much better team than they are. And, the Falcons are very much the same way, just not on the same level. Yeah. Because Dallas, what? Number one yards offense in the NFL, number 10 defense. How can you have a number one offense and a number 10 defense and be a sub 500 team? It just doesn't add up. Yeah. Situationally, in crucial situations, they're terrible. You know, they're good at third downs, but look at fourth quarter third downs. They go from the best team in the league to trash. I don't get it.
I agree. I agree. Okay, put a little bit of Seahawks in the Niner fans play so that as we talk, they can watch that as well. But I agree. I agree. I agree. Let's see what Christian has to say again. Says, I'm glad I'm not a Cowboys fan because Jerry doesn't make the best decisions.
Yeah, no argument there. But God, you know what? When you look at the talent on that roster, there's no excuse, none at all. Yeah, just take a look at that team. When you really stop and think about it, it's like, how in the world does this team? How are they not 10, 11, 12 wins right now?
Yeah, yeah, they have definitely have a good roster.
Yeah.
They have the playmakers, they have receiver, tight end, running back,
Eh,
and on
tight
defense,
end leaves something to be desired, but outside of
well,
that, eh,
Wiggins still has a little bit, but on the defensive side, I think the weakest link this year has been their linebackers.
yeah,
Jennings Smith hasn't been playing that good.
yeah.
Um, and then I just heard their top pass rusher was complaining about his coaches, and it's like a lot of bickerings going into that locker room, a lot of chaos.
Well,
And it's sad when a good team is good on paper, but they're not playing good.
oh,
Usually, you get a lot of people talking behind people's
well,
backs.
I mean, I thought that coach should have been gone like the second or third year of his tenure.
Jason
And
Garrett, yeah,
yeah, and for him to still be around at this point, there's some guys that have been there several years that I would be frustrated too. I would probably at some point here, you know, I'd be asking, if you're not going to get rid of him, get rid of me.
yeah. He's the newer version of Marvin Lewis, or Marv
Difference
Lewis.
with Marvin Lewis was Marvin Lewis had some decent teams. He had never had anything like what the Cowboys are right now.
He would have did better, much better with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Than,
He always had a team with some holes. He had some talent, but he had some holes always. Where the Cowboys, their holes are pretty minimal. Yeah. I mean, linebacker is their weakest link, without doubt. But it's just why, why do you lose these games? And it just and they don't just lose. I mean, sometimes they get tar and feathered in some of these games. And I'm just like, how did they get their brains beat out like that?
yeah, oh, that was a beautiful pass by Junior right there. Jimmy, for making some bad decisions, that boy can make some really nice plays too, man.
Oh, well, that's kind of what you live with. He's kind of got that gunslinger mentality. So you're going to get uh, a lot of good plays from him. And every once in a while, you're going to get that one like, what was he thinking?
Well, look at the Brett Favre. Remember Brett Favre when he was
Yeah. And he's not on that level. When you
no,
look at
no.
Jimmy's mistakes, they're not Brett Favre level.
But Brett Favre, I mean, he made my reference to that wasn't about being the same level, but Brett Favre did make his share of mistakes. But yet, when he did good for you. You
Yeah,
still
he made
wanted
a
that type
ton
of
of
Brett Favre.
mistakes. Yeah, like I said, Jimmy doesn't make mistakes on the level of Brett Favre. He makes a lot
Oh, so
less
you're giving?
mistakes.
Oh, you're
Less.
so you're saying Brett Favre is worse?
Oh yeah, Brett
Oh,
Favre,
okay.
as I recall,
I misunderstood you.
has thrown more interceptions than anybody in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, indeed, I agree. I remember Brett Favre throwing a lot
Mm.
interceptions.
Well, he was a
Yeah,
gunslinger, man.
he he
He
he had
threw
a
it out
few
there.
really nice years, but a lot of years he had a lot of interceptions to go with all them yards and touchdowns. Yeah.
So with that, it's interesting because a lot of Packer fans are always debating who's a better quarterback, Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers.
Nothing to talk about. Aaron Rodgers. He
They both
doesn't
have
make
one
those
Super
kind of
Bowl.
mistakes.
No, he's more.
Not even
He,
close.
he protects the ball more, but he's less. Yeah, and he throws the ball. He throws the ball too. It's not like he's very conservative in throwing the
No,
ball
he's
either.
not.
He
But
seems more accurate.
funny you bring up him when we were talking about regression. If I was willing to talk about anybody regressing, that would be the guy.
Rodgers, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of the games they won this year wasn't because of Rodgers.
Well,
It was because of
And
that defense.
and I mean, I'll give him a little bit of defense in saying that he really doesn't have a lot of weapons. You know, he
Besides Davante Adams, yeah,
Adams and his
Jones,
running back. That's it.
Aaron Jones,
Aaron
yeah.
Jones, yeah. And once you get outside of them, it gets pretty thin. He's missing a lot of guys. Gone are the days of Jordy Nelson and uh, man, what was their little slot receiver's name? He's a
Oh,
Cowboy now. I can't remember his name, but he's on the Cowboys now. I know that.
for the Packers,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, really good slot receiver, but he's a Cowboy.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Mm.
They use, yeah. They use him as
Randall
wing.
Cobb. Randall Cobb.
Run the Cobb, yeah.
Yeah,
Run the
and
Cobb, yeah.
yeah, so he doesn't have those at his disposal anymore. He's got some young receivers that are very wildly inconsistent, to say the least. You know, so he doesn't get the same kind of doesn't have the same kind of options. Obviously, doesn't trust those guys at the same level, and his completion percentage is dropping year to year for the last 3 years. And that game against us, the way they just got dominated like that, I felt like he should have done more. There should have been something he could have done to make that game more competitive. And I felt like, you know, it was like he just laid down. It felt like to me.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been a really strange year. I tell you one thing about the Packers though, their record is above what the way they play. That they shouldn't be at 12-3 this year. So they have played above their ability of this year. I think they were more of a 9-7 team.
I don't see how they got to 12-3.
Yeah, neither do I. Exactly. There's
Yeah.
they outplayed their ability this season with that record. Because you're right, they shouldn't be 12-3. And I'm not. This is not us bashing the Packers. It's just it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's but out of all those teams, man, I really feel bad for Viking fans though, man. With Kirk Cousins,
I
that guy,
don't.
that guy's terrible.
He's
I'm glad
great.
he's not on our team.
He's great.
Yeah,
He's
I
great
love.
in a purple uniform and not in red and gold.
Yeah. For all, how many 49er fans were lobbying for Kirk Cousins over Jimmy G? Or how many people got pissed off that we got Jimmy G, and that supposedly stopped the Kirk Cousins coming to us? Well, guys, count your blessings, man, because Jimmy G is a way better quarterback.
Yeah, even though he came from Boston, I was relieved.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't his choice.
Hey, that's the only saving grace of my book.
Yeah. It wasn't his choice. Who does who did you grow up liking in watching football as a kid? Do you know?
Who?
Garoppolo.
No idea. But he is from Illinois.
In Illinois, yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if he was a Bear fan or what. I really don't know.
Oh, that's right. His dad was season ticket Bear fan. Yeah, that's why
his dad was. I don't know that he was. My dad was a Raider season ticket holder. I wasn't a Raider fan. So
his dad's a Niner fan now. So I love the loyalty of his son over his team.
That's how it works.
No,
when your kid gets on the team, you got to jump ship.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so if your son grew up and started playing for the Patriots,
it's not going to happen, bro. Not going to happen.
You just said it.
It's not going to happen.
So you kind of.
I want my son's team to lose if it's the Patriots.
You love your son, but
don't love him that much.
This is why we call him the Boston hater, man. Love it. You root for his son, but not for his team.
That's right. Get all your numbers so you can sign somewhere else as a free agent.
I love it.
Get out of there.
I love it. He's a Celtics fan at heart. Don't let him fool you.
Wow.
What is I could just say Aaron Rodgers is sort of like Peyton Manning in a way, where to me they're both regular season quarterbacks, but both put up great numbers in uh, in the regular season. What what's your
Strong disagree. Sounds like I can't really speak on Aaron Rodgers, but Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was a damn good uh, quarterback, no matter when you had him, and people made a lot out of some of his postseason losses, but he was actually playing well in a lot of those games, and his defense let him down in a number of those games. And head to head against Brady, his regular season numbers were not that impressive, but his playoff numbers, he was better head to head against New England than any other quarterback. As a matter of fact, Manning was. So you know, people seem to miss that. People seem to try to focus on you know, oh, they lost in the first round. Look at who they lost to. They lost to Pittsburgh and Ben Roethlisberger. It's like you didn't just lose to you know, some scrub quarterback, and you lost to a darn good team. So, and he didn't play bad. It's like defense gave up 38 points. What do you want him to do? He
I'm
only got
sorry,
31.
I didn't mean to be laughing when you were talking, brother.
It's okay.
I look at the comment. I'm like, who's this guy? And then I realized it was Mike.
Oh yeah, when Mike was talking about his phone was dying, I saw that.
No, but his name, I haven't seen that name before. Mike German Chocolate.
Oh yeah, yeah,
This is my first time reading that name. I love it.
yeah. That's
It
his
caught me off guard when I read it, so I
yeah,
started
that's
laughing when you were talking.
his name for
I love Mike, man.
yeah, that's his name for the YouTube.
Mike German Chocolate
Yeah, yeah. He hit in the
tied the
Facebook
game.
Messenger. I saw him talking about that. He said the same thing.
Oh, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. We play to win the game, and then have some German chocolate at the end
Yeah. After the tie.
after the tie.
Yeah.
And it's funny because some of the ESPN guys were talking about that too. That they were saying that they should have tied. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm not listening to that.
which coach goes into a game with his players and
I'm
loses
gonna.
credibility
You
trying
got
to
2 minutes
tie
left in the game, and you're gonna take a knee or run the ball and run the clock out. Come on, man.
I guarantee you, if that would have happened, Nate,
We wouldn't be 12-3.
Thank you. That's
We'd
what
have
I was
lost
going
the
to say.
locker room.
Thank you. Thank you. See, I love it. I was going to say the same thing. We would have been 12-3 right now. We probably wouldn't even make the playoffs. So, yeah, I agree.
He would have lost the locker room on that one.
I think,
Because what
by
that
going for
says
it
to
and
me
losing it, you
in
still earn
that
your respect.
situation is that you have no faith in your guys. You rather take this tie than to go after the win. I guarantee you that Seattle wouldn't have done that. And when Seattle got the ball, did they just sit on it and wait for the tie? No. You don't do that. You trust your guys.
I agree. Real quick, I wanted to ask you from week 10, I believe that's when we play the Seahawks.
Yes.
We're watching on the screen right now, and we're watching the defense, the Niners defense. Do you think we are the same, worse, or better on defense than we were this Sunday that we were at week 10?
Worst.
A lot, a little bit,
Um,
or concerning worse?
let's put it this way. I'm going to go back to what I said before, because this wasn't the same issue that it is now as it has been over the last month. It's all about the fact that we need to make adjustments because these teams are getting rid of the ball quick. And we're not tightening up our coverage to make these quarterbacks hold on to the ball. Our strength is our pass rush. We're not helping our pass rush by letting them get rid of the ball quick, by playing these off zone coverages. Got to tighten up. If we don't do that, they're going to continue to hit these 3 and 4 yard passes. I was looking at a number that was telling to me. Average depth of target, they were going after, and they didn't complete a lot of passes, but the average depth of target in the first half of the season against us, average depth of target was like almost 8 yards. The average depth of target since the first Arizona game is like 4.2 yards or something like that. They basically cut their routes in half to get rid of the ball quicker. And, we're not tightening up the coverage, so they're completing passes at a much higher rate, by the way. And, they're getting yak yards that they weren't getting before. So there's a
Yeah.
whole lot of things happening that teams have made adjustments to us, but we have not adjusted to them.
Do you think there's a possibility that Robert Saleh may surprise us this Sunday with the necessary adjustments to pull out this win that we haven't seen from the second half of the season?
I don't know if we'll get the adjustments that we need to make our defense go back to elite status, but we've also proved that that's not necessary to win, but it would be helpful. It's we've won games and they haven't adjusted. So are they
I
gonna?
agree.
We'll wait and see. I would hope that we got a lot of good minds on that defensive side of the ball. Somebody's got to have that idea. I'm not the only one running around here talking about that. Somebody's got to have that idea over there.
No, you're right, and hopefully we do that because we're definitely going to have to make some adjustment right off the get go against this team, and go. We can't allow him to do what he does with us, deacon dunk screens. I noticed with the Arizona, they made it the running backs the running. I mean, when Arizona had the running game, they ran outside the perimeter instead of the middle. They went to the outside on their defense, and they were able to gain yards. You think that's an area we should exploit? Is the outside instead of the middle?
I think that's where Seattle is vulnerable. They've got them big, huge, men in the middle, 330, 340, 350-pound interior linemen. It's hard to run up the middle on them and on first and second down. When you come after them on passing downs, they're easier to hit in the middle. But yeah, running them to the outside is where they're vulnerable.
Do you think this is where a Matt Breida comes in healthy, fresh, not playing a game last week, where he can definitely attack the outside and the middle
Yeah. I
pass
mean,
catch games?
we run the perfect scheme to go up against what they have. If you run that outside zone, yeah, you let him pick the hole. I mean, you can see it if you ever look at this on the coaches' film cameras. You'll see when they run that zone. Basically, they're trying to get guys moving in a direction, the defensive guys, and it either lets you get around the corner or it gives you a cutback lane. And I noticed that Breida and Mostert are much more adept at hitting those holes than Tevin Coleman. Yeah,
Oh
Tevin
yeah,
Coleman has a tendency to just, stretch it out right on out of bounds, gain a yard or two, and keep it moving. He's not really good at finding that cutback lane. And on those cameras, you can see the cutback lane. I mean, you're like, there it is, go. He doesn't do it. He misses.
what, have you have you heard anything with Jeff Wilson Jr.? What's going on with him?
He's fine.
He just hasn't played. Don't you think I'd rather see him play over Coleman?
Yeah, it's not going to happen, though. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you, but it's not going to happen. One of the
One,
things that he's really good at is getting that tough yard.
yeah.
When you have a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, he's really good at picking that up.
One thing about Kyle Shanahan, he's loyal to his players, man.
Maybe
He
loyal
doesn't.
to
Yeah, he doesn't substitute too much. He does it based on he sticks with them, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, sometimes that can be good, and that can be bad.
Yeah.
Christian says, legit question. Um, how did Seattle San Francisco rivalry start?
Huh.
When they came over to the NFC West, right? I don't think
Yeah.
they had a rivalry prior to
Yeah.
that.
It was probably when it really started, it was probably more a
Russell Wilson, right?
no, a Harbaugh Pete Carroll rivalry more than it was a 49ers Seahawks rivalry. Basically, they brought that stuff from the Pac 12 with Stanford and USC and brought it over to, the NFL. And that's what pretty much started it. Because prior to that, there was no rivalry.
Yeah, it was Sherman too, bringing that
Well,
rivalry also
it was the
because
same thing. I
he
mean,
disliked
that was all at about the same time. Sherman's rivalry was more, he's got a personal thing with
with
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
because Harbaugh could have drafted him to the Niners. He could have
yeah,
came to
well,
us, but
I mean, so I mean,
he
I
should
don't
have
know.
though. Actually,
I mean, looking back on it, but Richard Sherman was not really somebody that anyone was interested in that much coming
yeah,
out of college. He was a fifth round draft pick. Nobody was beating down the door to get to him. Everybody passed on him. So if he's holding it, if he's making that personal, I don't get why.
or he's holding it because his coach from Stanford passed on. I mean, it's one
Okay,
thing other teams passing on you, but your old coach.
you,
Uh,
you weren't that good. You became that good, but you weren't that good.
yeah, his better years are in pro than they were
Oh
in
yeah,
college.
yeah. He
Definitely.
wasn't that good in college. He was all right,
Yeah,
So
and he still holds that
now,
grudge. He said
mind
it.
you, uh, you know, he's all pro that was drafted in the fifth round, just like George Kittle. You know, and the thing is, George Kittle's college career is a little different. You know,
Yeah,
he had an offense that was run heavy, and he really didn't get a lot of chance to showcase his ability to catch the football.
he was more used as a blocker there than he did as a
And
pass
a
catcher.
very good one. Yeah,
Yeah, that's where he
even
learned
in
his skills.
college, even in
Yeah,
college, he was a very good blocker. So, you
yeah,
know,
that's where he learned. Yeah, that's where he learned. That's when they moved him from receiver to tight end and told him you're going to block. He started as a receiver.
yeah, he never really got to play that though.
No, they transferred him to tight end immediately,
Yeah,
and they taught him how to block. He exceeded their expectations in Iowa when he started to block, and realized
yeah,
this guy's a hell of a blocker, man. And then when they did start allowing him to catch, he did his thing. But
yeah,
he's another one like Sherman that has blossomed more in the pros
definitely.
than college. Because if
Yeah,
people argue the point, if he was that good in college, well, what the heck did he go in the fifth round?
because he didn't get a chance to really showcase it. He
Which
was
benefit us.
basically, yeah, it did turn out to. He was a
Yeah, so far, yeah.
run tight end, but Sherman was out there on the corner, getting smoked by guys like what was his name, Marquise Lee and stuff like that. So he wasn't all that hot. I was watching Sherman get the business some days. So,
Yeah, I don't think
which
the
he didn't
rivalry.
do that in the NFL.
I don't think the rivalry between the Seahawks and the Niners were as aggressive, but I think back when Matt Hasselback and Sean Alexander was
That wasn't.
back there,
Yeah, that wasn't.
it wasn't as intense, but there was a rivalry there.
Nah.
No, I guess because the Niners were always beating them. I guess a rivalry has to go back and forth.
Hasselback? No, Hasselback was kicking our butt, man. Yeah, we were terrible back then. Yeah, Hasselback was going to the playoffs and we were going home. We were getting beat up.
Yeah, true. But yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
rivalry.
Ricky Waters team, and then when you got Alexander after that, yeah, they were beating us up.
So what do you think? Which rivalry do you think is bigger or has been bigger, the Niners and Cowboys or the Niners and Seahawks, or does it depend on
There's
the generation?
there's just way more history with the Niners and Cowboys. I mean, we're talking about decades worth of history where, this one's pretty much the last 10 years or so. So, of course, the Cowboys and Niners is much more.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see a little bit of trivia question. Now I'm not gonna have you answer it, Mike, because I know. I mean, Nate, because I know you know the answer. But let's see if Christian or someone Who are the original 4 NFC West teams to play in the NFC? Um, there's 2 teams missing. Who are those 2 teams? Let's see if anybody can guess without looking at Google.
Yeah, if it takes them too long, you know.
Of course, hopefully it won't. But
We know they're looking it up.
yeah, it's not, so yeah, I remember I brought up a question that couldn't be Googled. You just had to watch the game or heard of the game.
Oh, I
And
remember. Yeah.
the thing with the running lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Christian said, what was the question? The question was, who are the other 2 original teams that started with the NFC West?
That are no longer in the NFC West.
Correct. Who are the other 2 teams that are no longer the NFC West that started with the Rams and the Niners back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they answer that question, I'm going to ask another quick question. Keep this a little bit more active. Let's see if they can get that one as well. Little history for the young guys that are watching.
Mm.
Now, no typing, Christian. No. Let's see here.
It's taking them a long time. I'm not seeing nothing.
Panthers is one of them.
No,
No, not
no.
technically. No.
That was the 5th team. That was
Yeah,
an
he wasn't.
expansion team
They
that
were
came later.
expansion team,
But
temporary team.
I'll give them a hint. They're in the same division as the Panthers now, both of them.
Oh, that you give it away. That is way too easy there, Nate. There's 2 because that is way too easy. If you would have said that they're in the same division by itself, made it would have. As soon as you said the same division with the Panthers,
Yeah, they're all
there's the answer right there. Might as well just even
Yeah.
see. Told you.
Yeah.
Saints. Well, there's another team.
Yep, that's one.
But that was going to be my question too. Prior after this, I was going to ask a question about the Panthers. I was going to say which team was temporarily in the West, but Christian already answered that with the Panthers. So
Yep. Yep, that was it.
do you have any historical questions that you can bring up? Let's see if even if I know, don't know. Out of curiosity. Yes, Falcons is the other team, Christian.
Yep, that's
The
it.
Saints, Falcons, Rams, and Niners were the
Is there
original.
one that I can bring up about historic? Let's see. Niners questions are entirely too easy for the most part, especially for most Niner fans that are really true fanatics. So I'll go off the board, but I'll
All right.
stay in the NFC West.
Okay.
What city did the Rams originally play in when the Rams were first founded? What city did they play
Ooh, I'll wait for it. I'll take my guess, but I'll wait for them.
in? Yeah, shoot your shot, man.
Hands are right here. No Googling.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you this: the team that is playing for that city now is in the AFC.
That's true.
So I think I know who the team is. No, they're in LA now.
Are they?
Well, the Rams are.
Yeah, the Rams are in LA now,
No,
but that's not where they started.
No. That's where they're. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not where they started. No, that team's in. No, it's not Cleveland.
Yes, it is.
I know. Would you stop? I want to see. I wanted to see if he would. You give it up too quick. I wanted to see if he's.
Hey, if he got the answer, he got it. We're not.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. But that's Mike. Wait a minute.
Get out of here, Mike.
That's Mike. I thought it was Christian.
Let's
Mike.
see.
But
I got another one.
Go for it.
What was the original name of the team that became later known as the Kansas City Chiefs? What was their original name?
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, I don't know that one. I'm not even going to try. That's a good one. I don't. They had a different name. They were never. They were not always the Chiefs.
Prior to them being part of the AFL, you know, when the Chiefs were originated as the Kansas City Chiefs, that franchise had another name prior to being the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I'll definitely be learning something tonight. I don't know that. I don't know if I. I'm not gonna. That was gonna come out wrong.
Are you seeing any answers yet?
No answer. So go for it.
Wow. It was the Dallas Texans.
The Dallas Texans.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. The Dallas Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that I did not know.
Yep.
Interesting. Wow, they're better off being the Kansas City Chiefs than the Dallas Texans. So it was the Dallas Texans. Oh, the Dallas Texans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even Houston, but the Dallas. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kansas City Chiefs. Way.
Yeah, that's a
What,
tough one.
what year did they go to Arrowhead when they became
Arrowhead.
the Chiefs?
Ooh. I think they were in another stadium prior to being at Arrowhead, weren't they?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they were. I don't remember what year they went to Arrowhead. Because back when they started the AFL, there was some other stadium prior to Arrowhead. I don't remember the name of it.
Um, Super Bowl. I believe it was. What was it? Was it Super Bowl? It was against Cincinnati. I don't know if it was his first Super Bowl or the third, but Joe Montana had a certain actor that he liked, and that actor.
That was the second one. That was with Boomer Esiason and them. The other one wasn't. That was the goal line stand. Was the first one. It wasn't the
So,
drive.
so my question to the viewers is what was the name of the actor that was in the stands that Joe Montana was referring to in that game against Cincinnati?
Yeah, that would have been 88, Super Bowl 20.
No, not 88. Would it? No.
Yeah, 88.
Oh yeah, because 89 was the Broncos. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah,
right.
I guess it would have been January of '89, but yeah,
Yeah, because the first. Oh yeah, the
88
first.
season.
That's right. Because the first one was 81.
Yes.
So Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
What year did the Cardinals start? They weren't always Arizona. No, they were. Yeah, with that.
I don't know what year they started, but they were in St. Louis.
Yeah, St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then they were. What were they before Arizona too? They were. Weren't they?
But when they called them before when they called them Phoenix, I mean,
Yeah,
is that what
Phoenix
we're talking
Cardinals.
about here?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
they were
whatever.
Phoenix before they were Arizona, right?
Yeah, it's just a name change. They were still in the same place. They didn't even move.
Oh, so
Yeah,
just change the name.
yeah. They went from Phoenix.
1920.
Woo!
Chicago Cardinals.
Oh, I forgot all about that. He's right.
Wow,
He's right. Yeah. Who had that question?
that's Christian Carver.
Christian, did you Google that or did you?
Hey, at least he brought it up to us.
Oh yeah. Hey, he stumped me. Yeah, I had forgot all about that. And when he
That's
said it, I
wrong.
right away I remembered.
That's wrong. Did you Google it? In other words, he's saying that you're not smart enough to know that. That's wrong.
No, I'm not saying that.
That's the way I took it. Just kidding.
No.
Boston hater.
Tell Mike to get out of here with that. The Niners being established in '46. No Niner questions. Too easy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we know that stuff. Just like the question that he was asking that nobody seemed to answer. John Candy was the name.
Yeah, John Candy. Yeah. Yep, John Candy. Yep. Big old John Candy.
Yeah. Niner history is easy until you start trying to ask. When you start asking the tough questions, is when we had a bunch of years together where we were not good, and then you start asking them about players that were playing then. Yeah, that gets tough. But outside of that, when you're talking about when we were winning, oh, that's easy to remember stuff.
So, what was the name of the three running backs in the $1 million backfield, or however they called it?
The $1 million backfield? Yeah,
Uh,
that's a good question.
you know the names?
Two of them right away. I have to think about the third one. Yeah. Off the top of my head, I can name two. But we'll give some people some time to chime in on those. See if they can come up with $1 million backfield.
I heard of the Chicago Cardinals. Now that I'm thinking about it, I just didn't
Yeah. As
remember
soon
that.
as he said it, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that was 1920. Wow. Oh yeah, who was my cousin that played in the '80s Niners team?
That's Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike had a cousin in the Niners.
Yeah, he did.
Seriously, or is he pulling
No,
her name?
he's serious.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna put that up. Oh, I didn't know that, Mike.
Yeah.
What position did he play?
Left bench.
Did you say left bench?
Left bench.
You mean he never started for the team?
No. But he was his cousin, so it's cool. I wish I had a cousin played for him, whether he played or not.
I didn't. Wow, I'm still intrigued. Who was the bench warmer?
Yeah.
Hush, Nate. He was
Yeah,
on
I
the
wasn't
team.
gonna say it because he knows I know.
I don't. No, I wouldn't. Nope. Not in a million years would I
Yeah,
guess.
we've had that discussion. So
There's something that nowhere. I don't even think I can Google it. To
no,
be
you
honest.
can't Google that one, man.
Yeah. So that's a good trivia question, but it's a hard one too because you got to know the. I mean, you got to know the guy. Wow. Yeah. Especially if he didn't play, that's even harder to know. I get the only one
I
that really
mean,
knows. Mike, the
mostly
family.
special teams, you know. He played a little, but not much.
Could have been Carlton Wilters. What is it? Carlton Williamson.
No, Carlton Williamson.
That's what he says.
Oh shit! You know he played. I forgot that's who it was. I was wrong. Yeah.
Don't even know who that is. He played for the Niners. Wow.
Safety.
Wow.
Was
What
back
year?
in the early '80s. Number 27.
80s.
Yeah.
And that was your cousin, Mike?
Yeah. Yep. That's who it was. Yeah, he was a.
Don't remember.
Yeah, Carlton Williamson.
He was a starter. Or he just came in. He came in for a few plays here and there.
He was more like, you didn't use nickel like you used to back then, but he's a nickel. Because you had Dwight Hicks, Eric Wright, Ronnie Lott, and Williamson. Williamson was the other safety, right?
I love it.
Hicks. Yeah.
Christian Carver says, "I wonder if he does the Carton dance."
Ha ha! Funny. Hey, did anybody come up with the $1 million backfield?
I don't think so.
All right. I know Joe Perry and John Henry Johnson right away. I know those two. I'm trying to think of what the other one was. I know the quarterback was Y.A. Tittle, but that's not the one they're talking about.
I know. I just can't pronounce his name. Hickenary. I'm not saying it right.
Oh, Hugh McEnany.
Yeah. He was the third one. I can never say his name right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I know all three of them, but I couldn't.
That's the one I couldn't, remember. Yeah. But as soon as you tried to say his name, I knew who you were talking
about. It's funny. I always ask that trivia, but it's like if some people don't know it, it's like I know the player, right? I can say the two, and then I try to say his name. And if they don't understand it or they don't know, they're like, I can never pronounce his name. But Mike says yes, secondary.
Yeah.
What? Wow.
Yeah, he went from being a nickel to a starter, as I recall.
27. I gotta look up now. I gotta look up video on him. Interesting.
Yeah.
I gotta look at
Yeah,
some.
as a matter of fact, he was a starter on on the on the championship team, the first Super Bowl team. I think he was one of the main starters. He had you had Williamson, Dwight Hicks was the old timer, I believe, in that bunch, and then you had Lott and Eric Wright. But Dwight Hicks was the veteran of the bunch, as I recall. But that was our at that time. That was our backfield. He didn't last that long as a starter, but he was a starter for a few years, and then he
Okay.
became a nickel guy. And
So I'm gonna ask you guys a trivia question, Super Bowl trivia question. Who was the MVP of Super Bowl 10?
10.
Was it Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris,
Franco
Lynn
Harris.
Swann, or Joe Green?
Whoa, Super Bowl 10. Hold on. That was Lynn Swann.
Was it?
Yes. Franco Harris was Super Bowl 9. Then it was 10. Wait a minute.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 12 and 13. Was it 13 and 14 was Bradshaw?
13 Bradshaw, good one. Which Super Bowl was the first to be played in the Rose Bowl?
Wow. That goes way back, though.
Let me get some easier ones. That is kind of hard.
Yeah.
Let me do easy. Which team is the most recent to have won a Super Bowl despite not winning its division?
Huh.
Let me give you the names. Green Bay Packers, Baltimore Ravens, New York Giants, or Oakland Raiders?
Green Bay Packers.
Correct.
Mhm.
Very good. Which is the name of the stadium where Super Bowl? Oh, I hate this stupid Roman number. I don't know Roman numbers very well. You know Roman numbers?
Yeah, give me the letters.
XLV.
XL,
I. That.
XLVIII.
Yeah, I did not
That's
get it.
50, 40, 48?
43 or 48? Yeah, 5. Oh, yeah, V's 5. Okay, 48 will be played. MetLife Stadium, FedEx Field, Lucas Stadium, or Ford Field.
I want to say it was MetLife that 48 was in.
MetLife. Let's see here. Dang, you're good. I'm waiting for the guys to answer in the comments too, because we do have a lot of viewers, which is good. Okay, so before I even read the question, so I'm not going to ask. So XL means.
All right. The L is 50. When you
50.
put a smaller number in front of the L, the X is 10. So basically, you're taking 10 away from 50. That's 40. And then you got V111, which is 8. That's 48.
So this one's XLIX.
XLIX, which would be 49.
Okay. So where will Super Bowl 49 be held?
Come on. What was after MetLife?
Phoenix, Arizona, New Orleans, Louisiana, East Rutherford, New Jersey, or Glendale, Arizona?
Say those again.
Phoenix, Arizona, New Orleans, Louisiana, East Rutherford, New Jersey, or Glendale, Arizona?
I don't know. But as I remember, Super Bowl 49 has already happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if one was in MetLife, and I'm trying to remember who played in that Super Bowl.
I don't know why it says be held. It should say where it was held. past tense.
Yeah.
I don't know why they have a question like that. But it's
Is it Arizona?
Arizona. Let's see here. Nope. Glendale, Arizona.
Yeah, that's where the Arizona Cardinals Stadium is in Glendale. It used to originally be called it was named after a college. University of Phoenix Stadium used to be the name of it. But now it's got another name because everybody, if you pay enough money, they'll throw your name on the stadium.
Oh,
Just
really?
like just like when they said Meadowlands, New Jersey. Well, we know that's MetLife Stadium, which is where 48 was held. So we know they didn't have 49. That one's already out. So
Was this the question you guys asked earlier? Yeah, I think it was, huh? This franchise played in Cleveland, Los Angeles, and St. Louis. Which team was it? Yeah.
the Billy Goats. Oh no.
After the AFL NFL merger, which of the following AFC teams did the 1971 Buffalo Bills beat to get to their only win of that season? Wow.
Ooh, man. Yeah, that's too tough. Come on. Yeah. First of all, how many of us were even born by that time in 1971?
I'm looking at the answer and I still wouldn't know.
Hey, I mean, depends on when in 71 it was because I was born in 71.
Oh shit!
So,
I looked at the answer first before I read the question. I still didn't know.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I would have no idea.
oh, this is good. Let's see. See if I can see. Where is it?
Yeah. I can name you what other 27 teams were in the league at the time, if that helps.
Say that again.
I said I know the other 27 teams that were in the NFL at the time. I can
Yeah,
name all of
really.
them.
Oh man.
Yeah, but as far as which one, I have no idea.
Yeah, the Super Bowls were kind of easy, but I was trying to get away from it because I don't know. I never knew the Roman. I always had an issue with Roman numbers.
Yeah, I get them.
I don't watch them. I don't read them very often, so it's like,
Yeah.
it'd be nice if they just use regular numbers.
50.
Yeah, I mean, the XX is what, 20?
Yep.
Yeah, so some of them, but nah.
Yeah, but when they have to start putting like the L is 50, so they start going to like 49, and you got to put an X in front of the L. Yeah, that gets kind of
I was trying to find some questions that had to do with Boston, but
I don't know nothing about Boston other than stay away from it.
I was looking for some Boston questions, but I can't find them. That's how bad Boston is.
What is the worst city in all of America? There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that should have been a no-brainer.
Yeah, there you go.
What does Mike have to say here? Mike says, "What was the name of the first stadium the
Keys are
Niners
next.
played in?"
Get
Really?
out of
That's
here.
easy.
Keys are next. Go away, Mike.
Yeah, come on, Mike.
Got to do better than that. Told you. Most Niner questions, if you don't go to the losing years, it's easy stuff.
Hey, Mike, I know you know this. Mike, without looking at Google, who was the very first quarterback to ever play in a Niner uniform?
Oh, let's see.
Keezer Stadium. That's right, Christian. Keezer Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Try, even if you guys Google this, try not to, but who was the very first quarterback? Name the first quarterback that ever played in a Niners uniform. You're looking down, so I know you're typing it on your phone.
What's that?
I see you looking down, so you're typing it somewhere.
Impossible. I'm holding my phone. No.
Shit, I'm looking for it. I don't even know. First Niner quarterback. Mike, really? Don't repeat my question. Answer the question. Of course, I was thinking about Albert. No, but that's not him. Kenny Albert. No, huh? No.
No, no.
It went further than that. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, I was close. I was right.
What?
But I said the name wrong.
Yeah.
Frankie
Were you
Albert.
talking about the guy from Stanford?
Frankie
Frankie
Albert.
Albert. Yeah.
Yeah, I was right with Albert. I just said the wrong name.
Yeah.
I said it wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
Good guess. Shit.
Yeah.
Who
I didn't
was
know it was the first.
who was the quarterback after Frankie Albert?
Ooh, I don't know that either.
Yes, his first name has there are two initials for his first name. Give up?
Two initials.
Yeah.
Talking about Y.A. Tittle?
Yep.
Was he next? Really?
Yeah. 1951.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought there was somebody in between them.
and then this is interesting. Never heard of this guy. There was a quarterback that played in between them by the name of Jim Powers.
Not as a starter, though, right?
No. It's like a backup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know the game was in
because
black and white.
as I recall, when Y.A. Tittle first got there, Albert was still the starter, right?
Yeah. He came as a backup, and then he eventually took over for him.
Yeah, I think that would have probably had to been like his second or third season. So you said he came there in 51, so I guess probably about 53 he started.
53, yeah, and then 57. Who took over for starting job for Y.A. Tittle?
57. Ooh, I'm trying to think who was next.
The first name was I'm gonna give you this. If you should be able to say this quickly. The same name as Candy, first name.
In 57?
Yeah, his first name.
Tittle? I thought Tittle was still there in 57.
He was. He took after.
But are you thinking about?
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
Brody was 58.
Yeah, he took over. He actually started in 1960. My bad.
He started in 58.
No, he started. Yeah, he started, but then they went back and forth, and then he took over eventually in 60.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember
kind of like a Steve Young, Joe Montana back and forth type of thing. But then he finally took over.
When they're screwing up.
Yeah. But yeah, my bad. I read it wrong. But you're right. Yeah. John Brody lasted a long time. Wow. Oh my God.
I think he made it to like the 70s, early 70s, didn't he?
70. That's when I was born. Yeah, he made it 71, and then 72. Oh, this idiot came in and took over. You know who I'm talking about?
Was that our guy from Florida, Spurrier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve Spurrier. Oh my God. Can't play quarterback. He's another Jason Garrett.
Worse.
Okay. Yeah. True. Hey, they finally caught the guy that killed Bethel's brother, man. So I'm excited. I was not excited.
Oh, did they? I'm
happy about that, I should say.
What game is he talking about? Was in black and white?
He's being commented. He doesn't remember the quarterback, but he said it was played black and white, which is not true. It was played in color.
Yeah, Mr. German chocolate.
Let me. What was the name of the quarterback that was outbeaten by Joe Montana on two different teams?
I don't think he was beat on them both, but you're talking about Steve DeBerg. I think Steve DeBerg left when Joe Montana came in 93, was it?
Nope. He was still there. He got outbeaten by Joe Montana.
Yeah, well, that wasn't really beat out. He was done.
Then he went to Kansas City, and then Joe Montana beat him over there.
Yeah. In Kansas City, he was done. DeBerg was done. Yeah, so I would call that beat out. But Steve DeBerg was kind of one of those guys that was basically a mentor for many guys. Steve DeBerg was there initially when Montana got to San Francisco. He was there when Elway got to Denver. He was there when Testaverde and Steve Young got to Tampa Bay. And he really didn't get his chance to shine until he got over there to Kansas City, where he was the guy. And he had a couple of good years. And, he was.
Remember, oh my God, your favorite guy, Ken Dorsey?
No, never heard of him.
Cody Pickett.
Never heard of
Ken
him either.
Silver, Sean Hill, Chris Winky, JT O'Sullivan.
I've never heard of any of those guys.
Troy Smith.
Never heard of him either.
Oh shit! Talk about
and don't forget your boy Jim Plunkett. Don't forget that one. Don't leave him out.
Jim Plunkett. Jim Plunkett made he's a Super Bowl quarterback with the Raiders, man. So
yeah, that don't have nothing to do with what he did in the 49er uniform.
True, but he went to the same high school I did too, so I like him.
Yeah, I didn't like him in a 49er.
Huh?
I didn't like him in a 49er uniform though.
Yeah, he was bad.
Yeah.
He was bad for the Raiders when he first started there too. Everybody thinks that he just stepped into the Raiders and started being who he was.
Yeah, he took off.
Season before he took off.
And here's some crazy trivia. Who was the quarterback that got injured the year that the Raiders went on that run, 1980, won the Super Bowl when Plunkett took over? He didn't take over till Game 5.
Wasn't Blanta?
Come on, 1980, man. No,
Jordan. I'm thinking 70. Sorry. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But Blanta was he was a barefoot kicker, wasn't it?
He was a kicker. Yeah.
Okay, so I knew that. So 80. Okay, so wow. Oh, the snake.
Nope.
Oh, it wasn't a snake.
Nope.
Huh.
The snake. I'll give you a hint. The snake was a Houston Oiler at this point. That might give you a hint.
Oh. It was 1980 when Plunkett took over, right?
Yep.
He got hurt. I remember
fifth game. The guy got hurt, broke his leg in the 5th game.
Yeah. I can't think of it. It's going to be one of those. You're going to say it. I'm going to be like, I know that one. You're going to be like, nope, you didn't know.
I'll give you a hint.
I think of his name.
He was Houston's quarterback before the snake went there. How about that?
He was Houston's quarterback. Oh my God. Damn it. It's one of the. I know. Oh my God. Yeah. He played for Houston, the Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Think of his name. I'm trying to think of his number, so at least you know that I know who he is, not trying to make it up.
Number was 7. I'll give you that.
7.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know. 7 doesn't ring a bell.
Dan Pastorini was the name.
Pastorini, yeah. No, I wasn't thinking about him, so I'm not even gonna lie. But I know. Okay, Pastorini, yeah. Yep. No, he was not the one on the tip of my head.
Yeah, he went to the Raiders and was garbage.
Who did he play for? He didn't play for the. That's right. Before the snake, yeah. Carver says, remember Blaine Galbert?
No, never heard of him.
I'll give you a worse one than him, Christian. Do you remember Jim Druckenmiller?
Never heard of him either.
Or Ty Detmer?
No. Let's not put Ty Detmer in the same class as any of those guys you just named.
He's not that good either.
Let's put it this way. He was a serviceable backup quarterback, and he didn't stay in San Francisco long. His better days were in Philadelphia as a backup.
Yeah.
And he was pretty good. Those other guys you named?
He was just as good as Alex Gorbach.
Okay, you didn't name him until now.
What?
But yeah, I'll give you that. They're pretty close.
He did much better when he played for Kansas City.
Yeah, he got more opportunity.
What about Jeff Kent?
Stop it.
That's going down memory lane right there.
Yeah, downhill memory lane.
I'm trying to find what's his name. The one that he's Italian.
You talking about Gio Carmazzi?
Yeah, that guy. That was like the best quarterback of the Niners ever.
The
And besides
biggest
that-
piece of the biggest trash quarterback.
Yeah, that was he was worse than Druckenmiller. I hate to say that. Druckenmiller was.
Don't forget about Tim Rattay. He was there too.
I liked Tim Rattay though.
Did you?
Yeah, he wasn't like. I mean, I was a guy.
Nope.
But he was. You're not going to agree with me, but I think he was just as serviceable as T.Y. Dimmer was.
Who?
Tim Rattay as
JT O'Sullivan?
No, not JT. Dimmer, the one that went to the Philly. Your guy. T.Y.
Tyus? No way. No way. Tim Rattay was garbage.
Now, this guy I never liked. Mr. Freckles, Howie Doody Freckles. You know who that was, right?
Freckles.
He was right. He played right before Tim Rattay came
in.
Mama and Daddy is from Gilroy, California.
Jeff Garcia?
I never liked him. Howdy Doody.
Yeah, he was way better than them dudes.
I didn't say he wasn't good. I just didn't like him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Too cocky for my taste.
Yeah, I don't mind cocky as long as you can play.
And I've heard of Coy Detmer.
Coy?
Yeah.
I don't think Coy was on our team.
No, that was his brother, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ken Dorsey. Oh man.
Stop it. Don't do it.
But Troy Smith was the worst, man.
A lot of them guys, you could throw them in a bag and shake it up and get what and what.
Brian Hoyer.
I tried to forget about that. See, you're bringing up these bad memories. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
He was definitely he was terrible, man.
Yeah, Coy Detmer. Yeah, but he wasn't a Niner. But yeah, I remember him. I try to act like I don't remember some of these guys.
Yeah, some of them you don't want to remember.
I want to forget. Yes, definitely.
Some of you definitely want to.
Like Ken Dorsey. I would love to be able to forget that name, but it's just impaled in my brain. That Tim Rattay, too. I could forget about him.
Let's go down memory lane a little bit. Let's see if we can remember some first round draft picks.
Oh, some of them I don't want to remember.
You know, this is interesting. I had an argument with somebody, a Niner fan, one time, because he said he hates the Raiders, and he hates the Raiders. He hates the Raiders, right? And he said that Todd Shaw, the coach, never played football.
What?
Coach, yeah, prior to the coaching.
Yes, he did.
No, I know. I told him he was a linebacker from BYU.
Yeah.
And he goes, he just coached. I go, he played. And I go, you wouldn't even know the team that he played for. He's a Niner fan. Yeah, he goes, not only are you wrong that he didn't play, but you're a Niner fan, didn't even know he played for your team?
Yeah.
He was our linebacker. You dumbass.
Yeah.
That was hilarious, bro.
Not so loud. We don't need to know that he.
I'd
like to forget that too.
No, but yeah, but I mean, he considers himself a good historian or a Niner fan, but one thing he was wrong on that he played, and the team that he played for was our team, so that was hilarious. That just came to memory. But a linebacker from Tennessee back in 1989. You know who that was?
Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
DeLong?
DeLong, yes, Keith DeLong. Love it. Love it. That's good, bro. I love it. I love your memory. Remember Matt Barkley? Oh my God, yes.
Who? Never
Matt,
heard of it. Never heard of that man.
yeah. Oh, here's a nice one. No, that's one. 1990, running back, Florida State.
Oh, stop it. Oh.
The greatest
Mr. Fumble himself.
He wasn't he the best punt returner in the world?
He's the best fumbler in the world.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Dexter Carter, yeah.
They have a cartoon after his ass. Oh my God. Okay, so 1991, defensive tackle, Louisville.
Oh, that's Big Ted. Yeah.
Ted Washington.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's when we were drafting defensive lineman after defensive lineman. I remember that. He was the first of the bunch.
Okay, so you're good. 1992, defensive back, Washington.
Dana Hall. He was kind of sorry too.
He started okay, and then he just kind of just faded like a fart in the wind.
Yeah, he kind of just was relegated to the bench.
Yeah, his confidence just went. You're gonna know this one here easily. You're picking it. 93, defensive tackle, Kansas.
Oh, that's Dana.
Dana Stubblefield. Mm-hmm. Yeah, badass. I like him.
Yeah.
Him, my boy that I have his jersey signed jersey right here.
BY.
BY, bro. I love it.
Yeah, that was the next year. That's why it was easy to follow him, because once he came, we got rid of Ted Washington.
Well, we got two. And then we got. We
don't want to bring up the other one we had in '93. Is that what you're talking about? I was hoping you'd let that one go.
You know who that was?
Yeah, it was Todd Kelly.
Look at you. You're good. He's terrible. I know. That was.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to bring him up. I was like, you were gonna let it fly. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
94. 2 out of the 3 were good. You may argue the third one a little bit, but Brian Young, which out of Notre Dame, which we already said,
yeah,
there was 2 other players.
William Floyd, and then you had to bring up. Do we have to name the other one? Can I just leave him alone?
No, you can leave him alone. The double.
Let's put it this way: he was a wide receiver, and I'll just leave it at that.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't want to bring him up.
Could have had a stroke.
Yeah, I'm already gonna have nightmares.
Yeah, I believe that. Then I can't believe 97 when we drafted Jim Druckenmiller. Oh my God.
I wanted Jake Plummer so bad when they did that.
Yeah.
And he got drafted in the second round by Arizona.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even Bill Walsh recommended he was a consultant at the time. And he recommended that they draft.
Yeah, we looked at him.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yep. And they just let it go. He was the better by far.
That scouting team they dropped the ball. In 1998, cornerback.
Oh, stop it. No. Oklahoma State is all I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave it alone. I don't want to hear the name. Don't say it.
I won't. I'll spare you.
Yeah, skip it.
What about 99?
Another bad one. I'm trying to think of Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, let that one go too. Defensive lineman, right?
Yeah. The only one with the first name that had Reggie was White. That's the only one that I liked.
Yeah,
that's
too much. That's too much right there.
Sorry. This guy here I liked. Only I hate when he went to the other. But in 2000, when
he went to Seattle? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah,
Michigan
I know
State.
who that is too. You can mention him. Julian Peterson. Yeah, I liked him.
He was the first hybrid. He was the first linebacker they were starting to put on tight ends.
You know what? We had another one, a small one that we drafted that year later on by the name of Jamie Winborn. Was was very good too, but was so injury prone.
Kind of like, doesn't he remind me a lot of Mr. Hospital Ward?
Um, but he was a linebacker. He was more in that
Oh,
line
yeah,
of
I'm talking about
remember
the.
Dexter Coakley, small,
Oh yeah,
fast.
oh, yeah. Coakley, I remember him.
Yeah, could really stick with a lot of different pass catchers. Yeah, that was what he was made for. Was good at coming on that A gap blitz and stuff, but he was just never healthy. He could never stay healthy. Yeah, same year as Peterson.
Okay, I'm just pausing because I'm reading Christian's.
Yeah, I
Before
was looking
this
at
year,
that.
the last time we had a quarterback that started all 16 games. Oh yeah, that's good reference.
Woo!
Yeah,
Oh, that's a long time ago. No wonder we haven't won.
that's another guy I wouldn't want to talk about either.
Kaepernick?
I don't like Kaepernick. I
I
don't like.
never had no.
What he did.
I
I
didn't
don't
have
like.
no problem with him.
I don't. Well, I don't. I like him on the field. I just like. I just didn't like what he did to Alden Smith.
No, yeah, that's their business. I don't like you doing that to teammates either.
Yeah, that's what is it? You know, I know it sounds silly and cliche, but you don't break the man code or the
Yeah,
bro. You just don't.
yeah.
So many beautiful women out there. Yeah, you just don't. So that people think it's
Yeah.
because it was kneeling. It got nothing to do with kneeling.
No. Mm-mm.
So moving on, the same year as Julian Pedersen, we picked up a cornerback from Ohio State. He was all right.
Yeah. He didn't last very long either. He was
Another injured
okay
one.
at start. You're talking about a med plumber.
He was another one who used to get hurt a lot, man. Can't stay on the
Mm-hmm.
field. We
Yeah.
paid him. Now this guy here, I met him in person. Bumped into him in downtown San Jose. The shop's not even there no more. It was off of Santana Row. Um, um, he went to. I'm trying to think of the high school in off of Blossom Hill in San Jose.
Hmm.
But he's a defensive end from California.
Oh no, we don't talk about him. He went to Boston. Forget him.
But
Next.
he's
Next.
he was good though.
He went to Boston.
He
Next.
was good
He's a
prior to go to
traitor.
Boston.
He's a traitor.
What about the
Next.
one after him, cornerback from Miami?
Oh God, another one. Do you know that that guy never gave up a touchdown pass in his college career?
But
That's how good he was.
he did a shitload in pros.
He was garbage.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
I
He can.
was so disappointed by him. I was, you know what? When we drafted him, I was excited, but I was just so disappointed when I saw him play.
Yeah, well, based on what he
Yeah,
did in college, why wouldn't you be? He was a straight
yeah,
up one.
yeah.
Yeah,
He was a shutdown corner in college, man. Yeah,
yeah,
Mike
and,
Rump. That's who you're
yeah,
talking about.
am I right? And then this guy. Oh my God,
Let me.
2003
What year
offensive
are we talking about now? Is 03, I think we're at now.
03 offensive tackle Stanford.
Oh no, he was trash.
He's a gay dude himself. Nothing to do. Nothing wrong with gay people, but oh my God.
No, it has nothing to do with being gay.
No, of course
Uh,
not. I want people.
it had to do with just being sorry.
He played. He actually belonged with the Raiders when he went to the Raiders.
Oh, that was perfect. Yeah,
Yeah, that was perfect. And then,
talking about Harris, right?
but I want to clarify the gay part. I'm sorry. I don't want that to be
Harris.
what I meant. Yeah, yeah. K1 Harris.
Hey, good
2000,
night to you, Christian. Christian said he's out of here.
all right, Christian. Good night. Thank you for hanging out with us, brother. Have a blessed night. Um, 2004 with a 31 overall pick. Receiver.
No, Oklahoma State wide receiver. We don't want to talk about him either.
He was actually good in college too, though. It's another one that was.
But you know what? He had all of the wrong things. You know, I I was not happy with that pick when they made it. I was like, this dude, it's something about him. He's just soft.
Yeah.
I couldn't put my finger on it, but I didn't like it.
What was who was worse, him or what's his name? They went to Rashad. No, was that the one that went to Who's the receiver that we picked up that we traded to Kansas City? Just trade off another receiver from their
For
side.
another trading trash for trash. You're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
AJ Jenkins?
AJ. So who's worse, AJ Jenkins or Rashard Woods?
Flip a coin.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah, whichever one comes up was the worst.
Yeah, that's those two.
Hard
Oh,
to tell.
those two were terrible, dude.
Yes, they
We
were.
know Alex Smith. We know Vernon Davis. This dude, the same year as Vernon Davis, I didn't like either. Linebacker out of North Carolina.
No, he went to Boston too. Forget him. Next.
He, oh, he
Yep.
went to no, he went to the Bengals first and then Boston, right?
It doesn't matter. You were in Boston and you
Gotcha.
chose to go there. Get lost.
Got you. Now this pick is forever the best pick, the best year that I loved. Two guys in 2007.
Oh, you know what? This is when I was so frustrated with the Niners that when they got to this pick, and I can't remember exactly what number it was somewhere like 10, 11, 12, 13, somewhere in that range. I said, if they do not pick Patrick Willis, I am done with the Niners. And
So
fortunately, they did. Yeah.
well, they had two good picks when they
Oh
when they
yeah. The other one was
when they,
our left tackle.
yeah when they came back in and
Yeah,
took
Joe
him.
Staley. Yeah,
You know that Miami was going to take him in the second round.
that's what they thought.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what they thought. Yep.
Mhm.
And then after that beautiful year, we had to go shit along with Mr. Oh, this is good. This dude. Oh my God, out of North Carolina.
Oh no.
He went to Seattle and
No,
did
no,
shit.
no, no, no. We won't talk about him either. He was
I
trash.
just, yeah, bro. Trash is being nice.
Yeah,
Trash is being nice, man. That
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
That dude was no good.
Then we had Crybaby in
Oh,
2000.
Texas Tech,
Mm-hmm.
the Raider.
Yeah, Crybaby. He's not
I
even
don't know
playing.
where he is now. Is he even in the league?
He's not in the league. He's
Yeah,
on
because
site.
I know he left there and went to Baltimore and then just
And then
disappeared.
Baltimore released him after 1 year. Then he went to Carolina. I think he got picked up by Arizona, but then he got cut before he made the team.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't.
He got cut. Oh, there's AJ Jackson. I was too high up. Then we had Anthony Davis and Mike DeParty, which I liked those two guys at the time.
Yeah, that was the same year. Hey, even though Davis is gone, your potty's still playing.
Yeah, for Seattle. I like
Yeah,
him.
right. And he's been throughout. I mean, he's just got to go to the Rams. He's been throughout the whole NFC West.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's been to Cardinals, yeah,
Niners, Arizona. Yeah, he's just got to go and be a Ram for a little while.
and he'll definitely do all four teams in the West. At least he stays in the West, though.
Yeah, he says
Gotta
I'm
give
going
him
to do the
props
whole
for that.
circuit.
Got it. Then your favorite receiver at 30 from Illinois.
Yeah, we just talked about him. We don't need to bring him up anymore.
What's your opinion on Eric Reed?
I like Eric Reed. I always liked him. When we drafted him, I liked Eric Reed.
Yeah,
I
I always remember when he came out with his daughter in the draft. I thought it was so cool.
yeah, I wish we hadn't part ways with him when we did.
Yeah,
You know, we
that's why I
had
asked you first.
we
'Cause I
had a
like
time in there that he would have been our best safety. And
definitely would have been nice to have him right now.
yeah, that's for sure.
I would have taken him over Marcellus Harris and
Over who?
Tart and Marcel Harris.
Over Tart? No.
He went to-
Tart was out playing him when he was here. So I won't agree
That's
with
probably
that.
why they got rid of him, right?
Yeah. And
You
Tart
think
was more versatile.
the Kaepernick situation too?
Yeah, Eric Reed was really tight with Kaepernick, and I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think it had to do with people around the league holding out on him for a while, but I don't think the 49ers had an issue with it. The 49ers, when they got the new regime in, they were dumping everybody. I think we have 6 players left from the prior to John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan era. That's all we have left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tartan Ward, Defoe and Armstead, Joe Staley, and the tight end that's going to be gone. What's his name? He's hurt. Garrett Selleck.
You're
That's it.
solid.
6 guys. Yeah.
Then
Everybody else showed up since the Shanahan Lynch era began. So we've had a major turnover. So
this was when in 2016 when we took DeForest Buckner,
mhm.
and then we came back into the first round. We took Josh Garnett. I thought
uh,
I know I was thinking we were going to be another Joe Staley type of player, except guard instead of tackle. But boy, was I wrong.
you know what?
He was a bruiser though in Stanford.
I
He was
I
good.
really thought he was going to be good too.
Yeah, he
You
was.
know,
I like.
I was when they made that pick, I was happy with it.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I thought it was like another Joe Staley coming
Hmm.
in. Matter of fact, I liked him better than Joe Staley when we picked Joe Staley at the time. Because
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I thought he was
just based on college
yeah,
performance.
I thought he was going to be so much better. Joe Staley. Thing about Joe Staley is he went to like a small school, like was it Central Michigan? It was one of them schools,
Yeah,
Eastern
Central,
Michigan, Central Michigan, something like that.
and then he
And
played tight end for a little bit. Then they moved him to tackle.
yeah, so when Staley came into the league, I didn't know very much about him. You know, it's not like now. Now I get a lot more. We just have more access.
Oh yeah,
So I can know more about a guy from a small school than I could then. But even so, if the school is small enough, I won't know. Like Khalil Mack, when he came out of Buffalo, I didn't know who that guy was. I knew a little bit. I knew because they were talking about him, but did I really know much about him? No.
I think unless you follow that college, people probably
And
are
it's
hearing about
hard.
the first.
University of Buffalo? I
Yeah,
mean, hell, when they mentioned his name in college, I didn't even know University of Buffalo had a football team.
I think he's the one that put him on the map, right?
The only reason I know they have one. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, just like at least
Jerry Rice.
I knew who Marshall was, you know. And then they had a few players come out of there. It started with Randy Moss and Chad Pennington. You had Byron Leftwich behind them. But, they had that team that was in the plane crash and everything. So I knew about Marshall. But that's another small school.
Mississippi Valley State wasn't that big school either.
I knew nothing about Mississippi Valley State. When they
Jerry
came
Rice.
up with Jerry Rice back then, first of all, we didn't have the access back then.
Yeah.
What is it, 85? I think it was.
Jerry Rice is 85. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, we didn't have that kind of access. So when they said Jerry Rice and they gave up a first, second, and third round pick to move up to get him, I was like, what are they doing? Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah, especially when they took him away from the Cowboys, I love it because Cowboys was
Yeah.
just throwing in. I
Yeah.
love it.
Well, I didn't know I was gonna love it, but when they
Oh
did
no,
it, I
yeah,
was kind
me
of like,
neither. Yeah,
I
I'm
was
not gonna lie.
skeptical. you know. And
We
then
didn't
when they
know.
put him out there and I saw his ability, I'm like, we might have something here. Because people talk about him dropping a lot of passes his rookie year. But oh my God, he was explosive.
Fifi was.
Yeah. Because he had he only had like 50 receptions, like 49 or 50 receptions, but he damn near had 1,000 yards. It was like 900 and something, 927, 930. It was somewhere in that neighborhood.
If you would have told me he was going to be the best receiver to ever play the game ever, I would have just nope.
Yeah, I would have probably laughed at you on that.
But nah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it's worth it ethics, man. Just
Yeah, when you look back on it,
yeah, a lot of it's worth it. But that's another college that he put on the map. And then a lot of people come out of
a lot
Mississippi
more
Valley.
now. Yeah, but he was the first one. I had never
Yeah,
heard of that school until him.
he was one. Yeah, that's one of those little small. And then you know what? I don't know about you, bro, but I'm starting. You probably got there before I. You probably already there, but Solomon Thomas is just he's a bust.
He just not. You know what? I don't know what his problem is, but it's almost like uh, you know, Quame Harris. It's almost like what's his name from we just mentioned him from 2016, Garnett. And the funny thing about it is, and the sad part about it is, all these three guys came from the same school.
Yeah, Stanford. Yeah.
Yeah. Why are we having issues with Stanford players
I
when
don't
we
know.
draft them in the first round? Because that's all we've had is trouble with them.
I think what hurt us is just because they're so close to us.
Yeah, but you know what? They look like good players.
It's just
You know?
familiarity with them, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, but why are they just washing out on us?
well, Solomon out of Garnett was good too. I mean, Garnett. I love Garnett. I'm not too sold on what on Harris wasn't that good. I don't like him that much in Stanford, but Garnett and especially
Oh,
Solomon. Solomon was a
Harris
terror.
was actually pretty damn good in college.
Not as good as Garnett though.
No, Garnett was another level. And
Yeah,
Thomas was very good.
yeah, he was. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. He matter of fact, he who did he stop? What quarterback did he stop? That is a good quarterback now. Trying to think of the quarterback. Um, but anyway, him and now Reuben Foster. So 2017 was definitely a bad year. We could have had what's his name? That safety.
But wait a
Jamal Adams.
minute. Wait a minute. You're only looking at the first round. Let's think about it. Didn't George Kittle come to us in that draft?
Oh no. I'm talking just first rounders.
Okay, well, I
Yeah, yeah.
got to
No,
look at the
no, I'm
draft
talking
as a
the whole
whole. I
draft.
can't
No,
just
no.
talk about the first round. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I should be okay. Let me clarify. I did say that was a bad year, so that was in itself throwing everybody else under the
Yeah,
bus.
it was
I see your
actually a
point.
pretty
I
good
see your
year.
point. No. I see your point.
Yeah.
Not it was not only George Kittle. Who else did we have that is good? Not as good as Kittle.
Yeah, there were some others, but Trent Taylor was in that draft, hurt.
Yeah.
Um, what
Now
was
you think about it, the only two bad ones were the first round. Everybody else was good.
everybody else did pretty good. Yeah.
And I think everybody is still on the team, right?
Most of what we draft is still on the team in the
Except
last 3 years.
except Reuben Foster.
You know. Yeah, well, that's a different story.
And
Yeah.
then 2018, 2019 definitely are good years.
Oh yeah,
With
but
both McClinchy.
because we stayed away from Stanford. Oh no,
Yeah, we went to Notre Dame.
that's
But
that's unfortunate. Stanford.
what was
They've
it?
had a good program for so many years, and we've just. I mean, and there's some good Stanford players in the NFL. Just that we haven't had good luck with them, especially in the first round.
And who was the safety did we pass on to get Solomon? Was that Adams or was that the guy that went to the Chargers?
Um,
I don't remember. Either
Derwin
one of those.
James was the Mike McGlinchey year, so it
Okay, so
wasn't.
it was Adams then, the one for
Yeah,
the Jets.
yeah. Well,
Now, do you know he's a possibility he can come to us next year?
he's a possibility to go anywhere. Yeah, highly unlikely to come to us next year. You mean?
Oh yeah, because we're dealing with our own players that we're going to be having to deal with. Yeah,
Well, I mean, he's one of those guys that first off, I don't
Jamal Adams.
dra-
That's right.
draft him, draft him. You know, I'm
Yeah, we could have drafted. We passed him up for Solomon Thomas.
well, no, you can't say it like that. You know what we
Well,
needed, we got. You know, we
I
can
was
Sunday morning quarterback all day, but I wouldn't have drafted Jamal Adams in front of Solomon Thomas at the time. Looking back on it, oh, that's easy to do.
oh, I see your point. Based on what they did in college or
Yeah,
the performance, yeah.
yeah.
I
And I
was high.
remember,
I was high on Thomas. Man, out of college, I like to.
yeah, hmm yeah,
I'm a Clemson Tiger fan, but I watch a lot of Stanford because it's local.
yeah,
Like same thing with California Cal Bears. You know what I mean? But um, yeah, he was man. I don't know what I know. His sister messed him up, but
yeah,
it's not just his sister. It's his technique. It's just not. He's a small frame guy, so he gets beat easy by bigger offensive linemen. He can't break loose.
yeah. I
He's
don't
not
know what
quick.
his problem is.
You don't have the speed of Bosa does.
Well, if you talk about a small frame guy like Aaron Donald, you mean?
Yeah. He spent a lot of time with Aaron Donald. Doesn't learn
Yeah,
shit from him.
yeah, yeah. Something's missing.
Real quick before we call it a night, I know it's still too early to tell, or maybe you can tell. I don't know. Um, do you think Nick Bosa will be a better player? I mean, we didn't finish. We didn't see the end result of Alden Smith, but the early years of Alden Smith. You think Justice Smith will be better?
You think that Bosa will be better than Alden Smith?
Yeah, for the first 2 years.
No way.
Alden Smith was good, huh?
Alden Smith was ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I used
I
to sit up and listen to people talk about, oh, Alden Smith gets free because of Justin Smith, and I was like, but why is it that you miss that because of DeForest Buckner, Nick Bosa gets free?
yeah
You're missing that? No, come on.
yeah he
Yeah.
was he surprised me coming out of college, man. When he came out, I'm like,
Well, you
I
know
heard
what?
of
There
it.
was a lot of talk about, oh, what's his name? Come on, the Texas A&M guy that went to Denver, Von Miller,
Von Miller,
being
yeah,
being the best linebacker in the draft, but they said Alden Smith is the best pass rusher in the draft,
yeah,
and that couldn't have been more true. That was a fact. That's the way it played out.
yep. A lot of people got mad because we took Alden Smith. This is prior after of this incident, but you can't foresee that.
No,
And
no.
people that
Matter of
say
fact,
that they're
he
like,
never got in trouble in college, so
no,
it
I think
wasn't like Reuben Foster, where you saw some signs of what might
that's
happen.
fact.
Yeah, there
Matter of
wasn't
fact,
that with Alden.
the college that Alden Smith comes from, they don't allow drinking.
Missouri, right?
Yeah, Missouri, they don't allow drinking there, if I'm not mistaken. No, no, no
Well,
on the
well,
well, they
regardless
do.
as to whether they allow it or not, I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
that there's plenty of it going down at
Oh,
the college campus.
of course,
Yeah,
they're college kids. But
yeah.
um, I think his drinking started after the incident with Kaepernick. They kind of just messed him up, and he just didn't know how to handle it, and everything else went downhill. But my point being is, everybody that I've talked to said, "Man, we should have taken J.J. Stokes over Alden
Who?
Smith." J.J. Stokes. I mean J.J. Stokes. Oh my God, I'm tired.
Yeah, I
It's
was
long
gonna
night.
say. Shoot,
J.J.
Watt.
Watt. Thank you.
Okay.
Uh,
Well,
but
J.J.
Alden,
Watt was another very good one, but Alden Smith was better.
yeah,
No matter what you say at the time,
worthy of a 7 round pick. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean not 7 round, 7 overall pick.
6, 7, right around there somewhere.
Yeah, he
I
went
can't
seven.
remember if
Yeah,
he was 6 or 7. Was he 7?
7. Yeah, same year as Patrick. Oh no, Patrick was 11. Excuse me.
No. Yeah.
Patrick was who's the other one that went 7? Anyway,
Um, Buckner went 7, right?
Buckner. Yeah. That's right. That's right. So yeah, I referenced Buckner to going 7 where Alden went. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So Alden Smith. I had a conversation, interesting enough, the other day about Bosa and Alden, and he's like, "No, Bosa was better. It's better." I said, "No." I go, he might be at the end of his career,
Oh, I don't question that.
but
Yeah.
you had. I mean, a lot of defensive ends don't get close to Mike Strahan's 22 sacks, and he missed it by what, a half a sack?
Was he 20 and a half or 19 and a half? I can't remember.
One of those, but I mean, even a sack and a half, that's pretty close
Yeah.
to
But
to
the
to.
thing
to
was, Alden wasn't a guy that was just getting numbers. He was pressuring regularly.
yeah,
He had heavy pressure numbers. And I think people forget that.
yeah. We're definitely gonna have to have this conversation on our own, because I think future purposes we got to keep this for an hour, because people are they're not gonna follow us.
Yeah, we went
3 hours.
we put people to sleep by now, man.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
this one we'll let this one, for those that are watching. That I don't think you watched this far, but if you did, we apologize. Yeah, we let this get away from us. We just started reminiscing, talking stuff. It's something we should do on our own, not actually live
Yeah.
on
Yeah, we should
YouTube.
probably cut this at about the hour and a half mark, and
I'm gonna have to edit. I'm
yeah.
gonna have to edit this video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause people were like, what the heck? I think we've been on there, what, 3 hours longer?
Oh yeah. About 3.5, huh?
It's gonna be 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun, yeah, but we definitely got to do this on the download on not where everybody's watching us. But it was fun, brother. I'm gonna let you go. I am tired. I'm beat. I'm gonna give the people
All right,
on
man.
so they don't kill us and hang us. Even Christian, the most faithful follower, couldn't
Yeah.
hang up. He's like, I gotta go. These guys are not going to bed.
Yeah.
But when you love football like we do, bro, we can just sit there and talk about the Niners just on and on and on about anything. But we just got to make sure we don't do it on the live because we're going to lose viewers quick.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to edit this video. Yeah, I can't keep it like this out there because
Yeah, you might want to kill probably about the last, I don't know, maybe the last 2 hours really.
yeah, definitely killed it the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think right where Mike left, I'll probably cut it.
And we might go a little bit beyond that, but yeah, you can pretty much, it should be easy to figure out where.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I'll start watching it again when I start falling asleep. Oh, cut it right there.
Yeah, that's about the size of it too.
When I start looking away from the camera and start looking down for a very long time, cut it right there. Yeah, definitely. All right, brother.
All right, man. You
3.5 hours. We got 2 likes. Yeah.
2 likes?
Yeah.
One of them was my wife.
Maybe there were more, but they probably took them off after the 3rd hour.
Shut up already, huh?
All right, bro. I'm gonna let you go. Otherwise, we'll sit here reminiscing another 5 minutes of this.
All right, man. You take care.
Later.
All right.